This is episode 58 of the Illogical Sense podcast. I am Busby.
And over here it's your boy JC No Hundreds, a.k.a. Slurricane Cole, once again.
Oh, shit. Slurricane Cole, huh?
It's in, man. It's a little too hot to be hoodie Cole.
It's hot over there?
Yeah, it's 97.
97 in LA? Damn, it was kind of chill over here in San Jose.
Yep. It got hot.
You got too hot.
It probably went down a little bit since it's, almost 6 o'clock, but it was hot today.
It wasn't that hot today for me, but, it is what it is. But, anyway, what's up for you, nigga?
Man, what has been up with the whole community as far as the United States goes this whole weekend?
Well, you know, hoe-ass nigga being a hoe-ass nigga. Or should I say bum-ass nigga?
Bum.
No, bum-ass nigga. All disrespect. Bum. All disrespect.
I want to explain to everybody before we go into this. There are very few terms that can be used as just complete disrespect. Bum is easily a top 5 disrespectful term. It is top 3 when it is directed towards somebody of power, and it is easily top 1 when it is directed towards somebody of power by somebody of power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. LeBron James just spoke for everybody, man. But when you sent me that text, the first thing I saw was you bum Stephen Curry. That's the first thing I saw.
Yeah, because he had bad grammar.
I know. I was like, hold up. Did he just diss Steph Curry and that nigga at the same time? I was like, okay. He just bad grammar. He was just in mid-thought. Because I do that shit too, man. I be having bad grammar problems when I'm like thinking too fast and texting and shit.
Right.
But, this is backpedal, because me, I don't like talking about this whole ass nigga, so the floor is yours. I'll just comment when needed. So go on.
All right, so this past Friday, whole ass nigga in office.
There you go.
He took a trip to Alabama. I don't really need to say much there, but while he was having his, I don't know what the hell he was doing, because there ain't no more campaign trail. Whatever he was doing,
he was going
out there,
on his jerk me off campaign just to say, you guys like me, right? You guys like me, right? Right?
We will roll with that. He goes out there and, he does what he does best. He speaks on people's fears and, their prejudices and all that. I won't say good stuff, all that bad stuff.
All that bad shit.
Next thing you know, he flips it from being political into going to the sports realm and says, well, basically, wouldn't you just like it if these NFL owners...
Let me do this. Wouldn't you like it if these NFL owners just get these players off, get those sons of bitches off the field and just fire them? That's what. And
I looked at my phone and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, so when you sent that to me, I was at the movies watching Kingsman 2. I saw that shit and I was like, I'm not surprised, and went back to watching the movie.
How was Kingsman 2? I like the first one.
It's people said they didn't like it. It's like the critical acclaim. People say they didn't like it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was action packed. It's like a popcorn flick. Something to take a girl to if you bored. Anyway,
I bet Halle Berry brought the stock down, but whatever.
Not really. The movie was kind of all over the place, but it was still action packed. However, side note, I was kind of talking to a friend of mine, and she was kind of worked up about the whole ass nigga in office, and I will always tell her God is in control, and then I looked up, and I don't know if this is an omen, but I like speaking things into the universe. The film, at the end of the film, because the president in the movie was doing some whole ass shit, so he ended up getting caught. And all of a sudden, it cut to the president looking outside the window, and he turns around in the Oval Office, and he's cuffed. And then he's getting escorted out of the Oval Office, and then it zooms into the TV screen. And on the screen, it's on Fox News of all places, and the caption says, the report said, "President impeached." And I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to be all right. Because the last time I saw a movie about the president was Head of State with my mom. And after the movie, when Chris Rock became black president, and I looked at my mom and was like, damn, wouldn't that be nice? And then we had to go back to see George W. Bush. And then, a few years later, guess what the fuck happened? So, Anyway, that's besides the point. That's the reality for now.
Yeah, so he makes these comments, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I'm just not understanding. I mean, I get that you want your president to not hold back, but seriously, like, you can't even repeat what he said on TV. Like, literally, you can't repeat it. They'll bleep it out. So I was actually kind of taken aback because I'm like, well, wait a minute. When Charlottesville happened last month, didn't you say there were fine people on both sides? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't say anything about that. Like, so what? Us taking knees during the national anthem makes us a son of a bitch, but you could have a tiki torch and incite violence and hierarchy based on race, and it's all good. You're good on both sides. So I got mode. Fuck this motherfucker, racist son of a bitch.
I mean, yeah, I know. I know. Go ahead.
And then I'm getting into I'm starting to think back about all the shit he did, and then then I had to think about it again because when I watched it again, he tried to be slick and cite that damn apprentice bullshit with you fired. First of all, cut that shit out. Motherfucker ain't trying to hear that. Last time people was really trying to hear that, G-Unit was all in play, my nigga. Like, nobody want to hear that shit.
Only person who could say you're fired is Vince McMahon, dog.
Right, and you don't. And just because he stunned him or wrestled or whatever, just because you did it, don't mean that it wasn't script, motherfucker. Like, don't stay in your fucking lane. But then I started thinking about it. I go on social media to see what everybody else is talking, and of course, you still got the ones who voted for him and support him, trying to defend the situation. It's like, really, can you think of a president in any history that spoke like with this kind of rhetoric? Like, you can't. And, but he's producing jobs. Kid you not. As soon as somebody wrote that, there was a few tweets above that where it just read, since Donald Trump's been in office, international tourism to our country, so people from other nations coming to our country, has plummeted since this bitch-ass motherfucker has been in office. And some people will be like, well, it's not that bad. Now we can focus on us. Wrong. Because them not coming to our country has cost us around $2.7 billion in funds from outside sources, So, just that kind of happened. And, as far as being disrespectful to the military, like, motherfucker, didn't you dodge a draft when you were younger? Ain't you last time I checked, you didn't turn in your taxes for years. Ain't you, like, don't you still owe taxes on that shit? Like, you this pissed off on the motherfucking NFL because the USFL fell through years ago? Like, you got to do this shit now? Like, come on, man. Like, nothing he says holds up because of his past history. And I'll take it even a step further. So, shout out to Hennywise on Twitter, whose @name is Koopa_Kente. It's just funny, but he's dropping some knowledge. He's actually a third generation vet.
Okay.
He got on Twitter and he broke down some interesting shit that goes down with the laws of this country in regards to the United States flag. It is called the U.S. Flag Code, Chapter 10. And U.S. Flag Code, Chapter 10, .176C claims that,
you're getting
quote,
technical with this shit.
Yes, we are getting technical on this motherfucker. Episode 58 is a technical-ass episode. Buckle up.
Buckle up, niggas.
10.176C reads, quote, the flag should never be carried flat or horizontally, but always aloft and free. Well, guess how they rolled the flag out in the national anthem before the games?
Always out.
Yeah. U.S. Flag Code Chapter 10.176D, quote, the flag should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery, end quote. Last time I checked, every time Memorial Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day comes up, they selling everything red, white, and blue in flag themes. And according to this one, you're not supposed to do that. So technically, you kind of breaking the law. U.S. Flag Code Chapter 10.176I reads, quote, the flag should never be used for advertising purposes in any manner whatsoever. It should not be embroidered on such articles as cushions or handkerchiefs and the like, or otherwise impressed on paper napkins or anything that is designed for temporary use and discard. Which means, the paper plates, the paper towels,
pretty much everything
cups.
that we do during the 4th of July.
Yeah. End quote on that. And finally, Flag Code Chapter 10.176J reads, quote, No part of the flag should ever be used as a costume or athletic uniform, end quote.
Sorry, Apollo Creed.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Apollo
Hulk
Creed.
Kevin
They
Owens.
also got
AJ
US themed sports jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And after reading this, because again, I'm very proud of being
American.
an adult. Well, but being an adult in this era, because there's a lot of information that is just at the click of a button.
Mm-hmm.
I really started thinking to myself, if you're really this upset that you with what you feel is disrespect towards the flag, why aren't you this upset with when somebody introduces and reminds us of these laws that are actually in place?
Man, I'll tell you why, nigga.
Could it be that it doesn't have anything to do with the flag in general? It just has to do with nigger stay in your place?
Duh, nigga.
Look, it's repetitive rhetoric, but because this whole ass motherfucker keeps putting us in this position, we keep having to repeat it.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. Everything that he's doing right now, I used to get mad about it, but then I just let it go because, like I told, everything he's doing, I'm not surprised. This is who he is.
No, I'm not surprised either. It leads into this.
Mm-hmm.
So as a politician, you still have to follow guidelines. And according to section 227, which reads, wrongfully influencing a private entity's employment decisions by a member of Congress or an officer or employee of the legislative or executive branch. Basically, because he's the president, he should have never opened his mouth and said that, because that's actually against the law. You can't get into private company affairs. And the NFL is a private company, and that's exactly what he did. So
yeah, and he said, let me do his voice again. If NFL fans refuse to go to games until players stop disrespecting our flag and country, you will see charge take place first, fire or suspend. Shut up, man.
And so, and then, of course, this took place Friday night. So, the day's over and everybody's out doing their own things.
The thing that got me...
Saturday...
go on.
Well, see, Saturday is when social media, just in everything in general, because again, it's the weekend, so the usual suspects on radio, on TV, the shows aren't on, but social media is 24/7.
24/7, 365, bruh.
And as we started off the show with, he actually, before we even get to it, he still was going.
He was going on Sunday.
We're talking about Saturday. We're still on Saturday. We haven't even started Saturday yet.
Yeah, he still kept going.
He kept going on Saturday because then the whole thing with Steph Curry and the Warriors, they openly said they were going to have a team discussion. They still likely weren't going to go, but they were going to officially have a team discussion about whether they were going to go to the White House.
They weren't going to go either way.
Exactly. And then this motherfucker's going to talk about, we're not going to have them anyway, so they're not invited. And then that's what brought King LeBron James out.
LeBron was just saying, he was doing his little press conference, doing a little media day for the Cavs. He said straight up, he just woke up in the morning and saw what he tweeted, and he just had that disgusted look on his face, like, he already told you he wasn't gonna go. I'm like, you fucking bum. Fuck this nigga. Yep. Like, that's pretty much what he told him. He called him.
Once Bron did it, everybody from the NBA started kicking in. You had Chris Paul putting in his 2 cents, and he was exactly right. Like, don't you got bigger things to worry about? I'm pretty sure you would never tell an NFL player he was a son of a bitch to his face. Mm-hmm. Kobe came out. You got to do some stuff when Kobe comes out the woodwork.
And then it just trickled down. After LeBron, it was the floodgates. Almost every athlete.
The floodgates open.
Floodgates opened, and everybody came out against him. Everybody. Then the NFL commissioner had to talk down. Damn near every owner.
Yeah, Roger Goodell came out and said, basically his remarks were disparaging, disrespectful, doesn't respect the league. And then owners started coming out, which was interesting to me.
You know who else came out? This is, this has to be monumental. Has to be another side note. Even Jed York had to talk down about it. And I had to take back my fuck Jed York.
Yeah, there you go. See? It's
just for this week.
The world, the universe works in mysterious ways.
No, just for this week.
Either way, you couldn't say it this week.
Yeah, I could. When we talk about the game, might come back.
So I'm looking at the owners, I'm counting off because there were 8 specific organizations that actually contributed to his campaign. You had Shahid Khan from the Jaguars, Robert Kraft from the Patriots, Robert McNair from the Texans,
Jerry Jones from the Cowboys,
Jimmy Haslam from the Browns, Stan Kroenke from the Rams, Joe Glazer from the Bucks, Christopher Johnson from the Jets, and even Dan Snyder from the Redskins. Only Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder didn't say anything. Everybody else, they spoke out against his words. But I'm even looking at it from the situation because I'm like, you're speaking out against his words now, but nothing has changed since his campaign trail that you helped sponsor. And if anything, the words that he actually said on Friday were actually kind of tame compared to what he said last year. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not understanding your position on this. And, you know, I was more focused on how the players were going to react and respond to these comments as far as the NFL goes with the games yesterday. But on Undisputed this morning, Shannon Sharp actually pretty much said how I was feeling towards the owners, which was, this is what it took for y'all to finally come to grips and say, you know, okay, we're going to be unified and we're going to unite and we're going to protest together. This is what it took. It wasn't the fact that black and brown, white, Asian, every creed was getting just anybody that's been served injustice in the form of violence, just injustice in general. We'll call it what it is. But when it comes down to police brutality, that's not what moved you. It was the fact that somebody like you in a position of power challenged your views and ideologies and basically was going after your pockets. So this is what, you know, this is what led to this outrage. Like, seriously?
All of a sudden? All it took. That's all it took.
And I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's very, very, very problematic. Even with these statements that they released in positive lights. Again, the origin wasn't about us coming together against
the American
police
flag.
Yeah, or not even that, just injustice in general. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that another billionaire called out other billionaires and pretty much told them how to run their business, and they weren't going to stand for it.
Mm-hmm. He tried to bully and punk them.
Right. So I mean, from that standpoint, I'm still at a loss for words when it comes to that, because it's like, really. Now, as far as the players are concerned, I expected that from the players in terms of them saying, "Oh, hell no, you ain't going. I'm not nobody's boy. You ain't going to try to fire me for something that's not even unlawful. I have every right to give a peaceful protest."
Because now, since their owners are talking out about it, now they feel their jobs are secured.
Exactly, and so of course that leads to what took place yesterday, which was, game by game, there was protest after protest. It even got to the point where Ray Lewis, somebody who was, McCoy. Well, we'll get to him in a minute. Ray Lewis is who I want to focus on right now. Yeah. Ray Lewis came out and stated that while he respected Colin Kaepernick's position, he would never, ever see himself being disrespectful to the flag and kneeling for it.
Not only did he go down one knee, he was on two knees.
Two knees in London. So for those who aren't, sports aficionados, the NFL does games in London every few weeks. Well, they'll send 2 teams out there to play.
Why was he in London anyway? Why was he at that game?
Because it was the Ravens and the Jaguars. He's still part of the organization.
Oh, what is he, a consultant or something?
Yeah, he's exactly that. So he's still. That's why when
Cap didn't get a job, because of that nigga.
Yeah. So, they play the game out there, and of course, the Jaguars and the Ravens, they protested, and the camera's panning across the line. The next thing I know, I see this dude in the suit just knees dug all in the dirt. I look close. I'm like, is that Ray Lewis?
Sure was crying, and looking like he was crying.
And apparently, I wasn't the only one questioning it, because everybody on Twitter was asking the same damn thing, and then the next thing you know, the memes came.
And then it was
just the funniest thing. Like, wow, just last month you said you can never see yourself, quote unquote, disrespecting the flag, And here you are, quote unquote, disrespecting the flag. What changed? And are you an somebody said it best, they're like, are you an opportunist?
Opportunist. Opportunist.
I mean, it's just this weekend was just,
it was weird.
It was a weird week. It made you look at things in different light. Now, like I said, I was all for it. I was hashtag take a knee on every damn thing on social media this weekend as far as the players were concerned. Because again, the root of this is not about disrespecting military. It's never been about that.
Because if you all remember, Kaepernick did this last year when Obama was still in office. When black folks were still getting killed by the fucking police and there was still no justice done. So he was just fed up and he just didn't want to stand. And then when they asked him why he didn't stand, he kept a buck. He just said, I'm not going to stand for a flag that doesn't stand for us.
Exactly.
And then everybody just started looking at him like, you're disrespecting our military forces.
And then the first game after he made that statement, first of all, when people noticed he was sitting, this is how it all started. He was sitting.
He was sitting. He wasn't taking a knee. He sat.
He was sitting. So people got pissed off at that. And it was like, well, wait a minute. A lot of people sit during the national anthem. What the hell is you talking about? Then the knee came about because he found a compromise to say, well, you know what? I'm not disrespecting the military. And to show it, I want to unify with servicemen and women. So when they went to San Diego for, believe the last preseason game, he knelt in between two servicemen to show solidarity. And still, people are holding on to this narrative that he's disrespecting the military, even though to show solidarity, it takes all parties to be involved, which means those two servicemen on both sides of him clearly were a part of that situation.
Mm-hmm. But yet they're talking about this like they're looking at this flag. White people are weird. It's like they're looking at this flag like it's some deity, like it's God. They're looking
and nobody cared. No, honestly, nobody gave a damn about the damn flag until he started doing this last year. Nobody.
Real. No, white folks didn't care about it until he started doing it. And it's like they're looking at this flag like it's some deity, like it's some god, like how dare you disrespect my people? It's just like they're so offended by they hold that flag near and dear to their heart. And then when you try to explain this shit to them, they get all fucking defensive. But then in reality, this is what it is. We're putting the mirror up in their face. That's what they're doing. And they don't like the reflection. They don't like being called racist. Let's just break it fucking down. They don't like being called racist.
What's even worse than that is it ain't even people who are quote unquote racist. It's just people who don't even want to admit the simple fact that there is something called white privilege. And they feel like we're trying to demonize them for that. And it's like, look, man, you're not to blame because of how, what creed you're born. Like, you have no control over that. But don't act like it doesn't exist. It does exist, and that's where the issue lies in. This whole issue with our country just lies in the fact that nobody wants to accept the fact that this country was founded on deceit, murder.
I don't think it's nobody.
Genocide. And look, when I say nobody, I'm talking about people in positions of power that can effectively make change.
Yeah.
Of course, we have allies of, black, white, brown, anything else in between. Of course we have allies altogether, but it seems to be the ones who have positions of power that don't really want to pay. I don't even know the best way to word it. So it's just
they don't care about us.
They just don't care because it's not something they have to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
And as a result, because they don't care, people who are just everyday average Joes like you and I, they're in a situation where it's like, well, as far as I can tell, everybody has it good, so why are you complaining? Mm-hmm. And again, we go through this same damn rhetoric over and over and over to the point where it's just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done trying to explain to people. It's like, if you don't get it by now, you just either you're not paying attention or
you're just racist.
You just don't care.
They're just racist, bro. At the end of the day, they're just racist. They don't give a fuck. They don't. Michael tried to tell you back in 95, they don't care about us. They don't care about us at all. They don't care. These white folks, I'm not saying all white folks, but it's majority white folks, do not care about us. They're scared of us. They want us to disappear. They hate us for whatever reason, for the different color of our skin, and they're trying to exterminate us. And then when they find out it's not working and we're pointing out that they're fucked up, they get all defensive. And they call us every name in the book except for nigger. They should just call us nigger at the end of the day. And then they got a president that they got their own little hoe ass nigga in office that represents everything that they represent. And I don't get frustrated. I don't get worked up about it because this is just what it is. They're just racist at the end of the day. So they're calling out all these they're calling all these athletes out. They're calling out all the black athletes that are doing it. And look, like they're calling out all these black athletes that call out what it is, and they get defensive and they try to do this whole Jedi mind trick shit, saying, "Oh, it's about what's it about? Oh, it's about you disrespecting our country. If you don't like it, you could just leave." Yeah, because you ain't the one getting shot for walking out to get getting some Skittles in a freaking Arizona iced tea. You're not the one just walking down the street and the police harasses you for being black. Just because they don't like you. This ain't happening to you. It's happening to us. So that's why he's going to take a knee, because you don't respect us, so we ain't going to respect the U.S. How about that?
My thing is, if you really this upset when it comes to the veterans, this is how I know this is all just a ploy for stay in your lane, boy. If you were really this upset about how veterans were treated, it wouldn't have taken this for you to reveal how upset you are. Like, let's call it for what it is. Veterans in this country are treated horribly.
Horribly.
Okay, many come back and don't have the proper resources that they need. You go out and you see bodies being blown up in front of you, and you come back home and you're just expected to just go back to a 9 to 5 and live normally, and they're not gonna give you a resource such as counseling, proper health care that will provide you with the proper medication. And if this country really, again, was all about helping people, we wouldn't be in the business of pharmaceuticals. They would just let you smoke as many fucking joints as you need to and get that shit out your system. And rightfully so, if you see a body getting blown up in front of you, chances are it's never going to get out your system. So just keep toking up. But what do? They either want to keep you from getting the resources as far as the medication goes, or they just want to stick you on goddamn pills 24/7 until you're fucked up all across the board. So either way, if you that pissed off about veterans, be pissed off about shit like that.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Racist people. And when it comes to the players, it's just funny to me seeing the players doing it now, because now they feel their jobs are secured. So they feel like their jobs are secured. So now that master doesn't like it, they can do it now. So that's how it is. So my real question is this: Are they going to do this next week?
It's to be seen.
Was this just an Instagram post? Was this nothing more than just for a photo op to be on all the history books in the future? So next week, y'all, is this business as usual? No,
it's really to be seen, because this is just the NFL. As far as the NBA, and let's even include the WNBA, because the women in the WNBA have been on the front lines.
And the MLB.
Well, yeah, the MLB. So the MLB,
tennis.
No, in the MLB, I forgot. He was actually the first player that did it on Saturday night.
The A's.
I forgot his name. I know about it because shout out to my boy Mark Kana. I graduated high school with him. He was the one that had his hand on his shoulder the whole time.
Yep, I saw that, and I think a person in tennis did it. It's all over. A cheerleader did it. Like, Kaepernick started a fucking movement with this
Bruce
shit.
Maxwell. So Bruce Maxwell, who's a rookie, he comes from a family full of veterans. And, he said, and he made it very clear in his statement, this has nothing to do with military. I'm just seeing that there is a difference in how we're treated, and if it is a priority in the words of this national anthem that everybody's supposed to be treated equally and it's not going to happen, well, I'm not going to stand for it. And again, that's basically all you need to know when you ask, well, why are you doing it? Well, if we're not getting treated equally, we're not going to stand for it. That's the whole fucking point.
And like I said, this is we gotta say this to white people. We spell it out for you. This was quite simple. It's a quite simple arrangement, and they want to make shit complicated. And
I'm not even going to just hold that only to white folks. There's black folks I've been
black folks
going back and forth with too. Like, it's
white,
everybody, man.
Coon ass, Uncle Tom ass niggas.
It's everybody.
So Whatever. And then this shit pissed off. This shit was such an uproar that it got J. Cole to come out of Twitter silence.
Hollywood Cole came out.
Now you know damn well, shit's fucked up if J. Cole has to come to Twitter because he's not on Twitter like that no more. But he came to Twitter. The first thing he said was, "Yo, how do you make a thread?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's back." And he went on a whole Twitter rant about, he respects he respects the players that, took a knee, that are taking a knee that day and all this other shit. But, the real chance we can move is how we're going to hurt their pockets. We got to hurt the NFL's pockets. Just stop watching. Stop watching. Do not watch it. If this is just fucked up, because Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. As of right now, all this shit's all good, but Cap still not going to get a job. That's what I'm saying. If this is going to happen, if this is going to keep going, if these players are just going to keep taking a knee, Kaepernick needs to get signed.
Right.
Preferably by the Niners. But yeah. I mean, he needs to get signed. He needs to play. He even said he's ready to play. He is in shape. He is ready to play. And he still has the top selling jersey in the league right now. Well, he did have it, but he still has one of the top selling jerseys. And the NFL is still making money off of him. So you might as well bring him back and get the ratings up. You know how many people will watch the NFL? People that love him, people that hate him, they will literally watch the NFL just to see him play, to see if he's gonna fuck up, to see what he's gonna do. But nigga, you know how much money you gonna make from that? What the fuck do I know? I'm Busby. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, J. Cole came out of hiding and he did a whole Twitter rant and shit. But besides all that, besides whole ass nigga still going on Twitter all day, he was on Twitter all day on Sunday talking shit about the NFL.
There was actually football to be played.
Yeah, it was like
and your Niners actually started the week off on Thursday.
Yeah, before all that shit happened, the Niners gave me.
And you wasn't watching.
Oh no! Let me talk. This is my team.
Okay.
See, at first I was at Red Robin, have myself a nice little, lunch, snack, dinner, or whatever. I look up, saw the Niners playing. They're just about to play. I saw Levi's wasn't even full. I'm not surprised. Yep. So I was like, I looked at Brian Hoyer. And I was just like, whole ass nigga.
You keep blaming him. It ain't his fault.
I not give a fuck. Anyway, so I'm watching him, and I'm like, this motherfucker better not fuck up. Just don't fuck up. So we got the ball. First possession, he threw an interception. All the Niner people just got up and left the damn bar, including myself. I got up and left the damn bar. And then I'm on the road, and then I see he run through the end zone. He made it run in the end zone. I'm like, you still a bitch. I'm like, I don't give a damn. Like, you need to take that. He needs to take that. I went on Twitter and said he needs to take that jersey the fuck off. The fuck. Like, the fuck. I put the fuck off. Because, you're trash. So, I came and you're trash, son. So, went home and all of a sudden I had the itis because I ate a lot because I'm a big boy. Hell yeah. And, I was kind of watching, I was kind of nodding in and out, and then I was kind of seeing the Rams kept scoring and stuff. I was like, whatever. So I took a nap. I kept kind of waking up, kind of nodding in and out, kind of glancing at the score. And then when I fully woke up, I saw the score. The Niners were, in the fourth quarter, the Niners were down 2 touchdowns. And I was like, oh. So they're kind of creeping up. So then, JC hits me up saying, I saw it on Twitter, he's like, I'll see how Busby feels about this game. And I retweeted it, and I'm like, I was asleep. And I kept watching it, and I was like, so they came to play now. So then they scored. And then the Rams kicked it off, and then they fumbled it. We got the ball back, and I was like, oh my God. And then I started getting excited again. It was this strange feeling. I haven't felt this way since Harbaugh was coaching us. I was yelling at the TV like, motherfucker, you better score! Go, nigga! I was yelling at the TV, getting up, yelling at the TV like I used to do. Like I haven't done that in 2 years? Like it was a great feeling. Like I'm starting to believe in these niggas again. And it was like God was trying to help us. God was saying, I want you guys to win. And then we scored, and I was like, hell yeah. And then, reality. And then we almost tied it up. We were down by like 3 points. All we needed to do was get in field goal range. And then, reality hit, and then we lost, and that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
It was like this.
I will tell you, it was a good ass game.
I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired. Ever since I was a Niner fan, that's all I keep hearing. After close ass games, all I hear, it was a good game though. Fuck that. Good games don't win us games. Fuck that bullshit. Like, I'm just sorry. I'm tired of hearing that shit. So it was just like, whatever. Because it was like God was trying to tell us, son, I want you guys, the Niners, I want you guys to win today. I'm going to give you chances. I'm going to bless you guys. I want you guys to win. You know what the Niners did? They looked up at God and they said, not today, Lord. And God was bet.
I tell you, it was a good-ass game because nobody was expecting that for a Thursday night game. Like, usually these Thursday night games are trash.
Well, that last Thursday night game was kind of cool.
No, it wasn't.
You said it was. I gotta watch it. It was kind of exciting.
You watched the Bengals and the Texans and thought that was exciting?
Kind of, with a capital K.
There was only one touchdown in that game.
Capital K. I said capital K for a reason.
Well, that was garbage. That was a garbage game. Usually the Thursday night games are garbage games. This one was captivating from beginning to end. I mean, you had Gurley. He had 3 damn rushing touchdowns before halftime. And then I didn't even realize that both of the starting receivers with Buffalo last year in Watkins and Woods, they're now the starting receivers out here for the Rams, and they both had 100 yards each Thursday night. So, I mean, offensively for the Rams, it was booming. And then, like I said, you get to the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden the Niners woke up. And it was like, oh, man, this is great.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
Phenomenal.
Brian Hoyer was actually, like, being a QB. And I was like, huh. But then all of a sudden, when he was but it was just questionable play calls. Niner fans and even the Niners were questioning what the refs did. I was even getting talked about. I was like, nah, we fucked that up. I don't give a fuck. We fucked up. So it's whatever. We shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. So I don't like getting my hopes up about these Niners no more. It's like, whatever. I learned not to get my hopes up. I just take it game by game. So I don't want to get all pissed off. And, it is what it is. Niners lost, the end. So we got next week. Who we got next week? It don't matter. So I think we have Arizona next week.
That sounds about right.
I think we have Arizona next week. No,
Arizona sounds about right.
Yeah, so whatever. It might be. And the crazy thing about it is that the NFC West is low-key weak this year. So we low-key still got a chance. Oh, no, we don't own 3 right now.
No, you're on 3. It's pretty much. There's a quarter of the season is going to be done after next week. At this point, you know who's going to the playoffs. Or I shouldn't say that. You know who's out of the playoff contention. And y'all. But I wasn't telling you to have hopes they were going to go to the playoffs. I was just telling you,
you guys might win
some progress.
Yeah,
I didn't say y'all was going to win a division. I said y'all was going to win about 6 games.
Hey. Defensively, we are better. We stopped the run. We're not letting niggas run on us like that no more.
I mean, offensively, y'all was better on Thursday.
Yeah, but there's just questionable play calls. It's still like, I know what's his name, Shanahan's calling the plays or whatever, but he needs an offensive coordinator because the plays he's calling is fucking bullshit. It's like questionable plays. Why do you keep doing the same every play? He does that little short route pass bullshit, and I was like, that's why they picked it off. It's like he didn't call an audible. Like you didn't call an audible, a run play or nothing. Like, man, Brian Hoyer's trash. Fuck him. He needs to be off my team. I want Cap back. I don't want a backup as my fucking starting QB. That's who he is. Brian Hoyer.
I mean, honestly, you just gotta hope to lose out at this point because they got about 4 quarterbacks in this draft. So I mean, you lose out, you get the highest pick.
Think about draft. See, that's I don't.
You can't think of somebody coming in now because they ain't gonna help. You're gonna play yourself out of the draft.
The Patriots came back from a 28-3 deficit in the Super Bowl. Anything's fucking possible.
Yeah, that took 25 minutes.
Hey,
you're gonna do 25 minutes over what? 13 more games each game.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible, Craig. Yeah. So, man, I don't know who the fuck am I telling. Anyway, you got nothing to talk about either because your Raiders were trash last night.
Well, before we get into that,
so you'll take your time going to that, huh?
No, it's not because we want to lead up to that game because it was the damn Sunday night game, so it was the last game of the day. Leading up to that, it was actually decent football all day. You had the Steelers, who they chose not to remain out at the field during the National Anthem in Chicago. And that game was wacky in itself because I'm not going to get into it. If you saw the damn game, you saw Bears blocked the field goal at the end towards the end of the first half, ran it back, and dude started celebrating before he got the end zone. They popped the damn ball out.
Popped the ball back, yeah. I think he thought that he was like by himself. I think that's why he stopped.
Yeah, I watched that and I'm like, why don't you make sure you have 3 feet in the end zone and then start celebrating? Like these guys do it every single year, and it's like, yo, man, like
niggas, they get cocky.
But that was decent. I still don't know how the hell they lost to the Bears, but whatever. My pick'ems this week were garbage. I think I only got 7 games.
You got that any given Sunday shit. Yeah. That's what happened to your
ass.
And
then you had Patriots and Bills, which was actually, Patriots and Texans. And that was actually a surprisingly good game, especially for Deshaun Watson. Didn't expect him to go out and play like that. But
Tom Brady just had to show everyone why he is the
and
GOAT.
Then what made the situation even worse before the game started was you had Shady McCoy. Look, man, we all were all for the protests. We were all for the protests, but this motherfucker, man, just 2 weeks ago he was talking about, I don't think Kaepernick should do that because it's hurting his cause. It's just a waste of time. Then when they decide to do this motherfucker don't even take a knee. He's actually laid out on the ground, still stretching, rolling his hip flexor and everything. I was like, come on, man, you really
now I know
seriously?
why Chip Kelly got rid of your ass, bro.
Exactly. Like, come on, man, dog, for real? Like, what the hell are you doing, man?
He's doing too much. I'm like, dude, no wonder why Chip Kelly got rid of your ass.
Right. So the Bills played Denver in that game.
Bills destroyed Denver. That was crazy.
Yeah, and I made the mistake. I just getting hyped in the moment. I started taunting Broncos fans. Because in my head, in my head, I'm a firm believer any given Sunday, but, in my head going against the Redskins, I'm like, okay, it might be a challenge, but, this is something we can pull out. It's not a big deal. Wrong. Let me tell you about this. Like, I had such a good day. I did my 3+ mile walk. I've been slacking on my health the past month. I finally made it a point where I was like, we jumping back on it. I meal prepped for 2.5 hours in the kitchen. I put NFL Red Zone on my laptop. I was in the kitchen.
You didn't have it on your screen? You didn't have it on your screen?
I was in the kitchen cooking.
Oh, because the TV's not in there. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. Took the laptop in the kitchen. I was having a good old time, making breakfast, making lunch and dinner. I'm feeling good, man. I'm like, okay, cool. Like the afternoon games had started. So I'm like, okay, I got time to rest. Put my order in for Wingstop to go pick up right before our game.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that looked good.
Drove over there, got my food, came back. I'm all prepped up. I'm ready to go. I'm all in my, my armor. I still got all my stuff I was given from the organization. So, I'm repping, like I'm there at the game. Ready to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then the anthem takes place. We got the only sole African American offensive line. So they made it a point where they were gonna kneel or sit, and they show us on the sideline. Cats are sitting down, linked arms. Derek's in the back praying, and I'm like, oh man, this is perfect for us to just go into DC and wreak havoc and show who the hell we are.
And y'all did.
I'll be damned if we might have showed who the hell we are. Who the hell we are might not be Super Bowl contenders just yet. Because, I think it was on the second or third play overall, Derek threw his first pick. And, in my mind, I've seen him do it plenty of times before in practice and on the field. I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. He's going, now it's out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got to worry about when he's going to throw the pick. Like, okay, go have your fun, do what you got to do. Redskins come down, they score. I'm like, okay, that was a gimme. That's just how we started off. Whatever. Get a ball to Marshawn. He gets a nice little 3-yard run. I'm like, okay, we setting ground on this. Get an incomplete pass next. It's either incomplete or Amari dropped it or something. But I'm like, all right. And then shit really got me concerned because we rarely give up sacks in games, if any. Like the last 2 games, we had 2 combined. And next thing I know, we closed that series out, allowing 2 sacks. And I'm like, wait, what the hell going on? Man,
what the hell going on?
This ain't normal. This ain't normal behavior. What's popping with
this? I can't get jiggy with this.
What's
popping?
What the fuck is this? And, I'm texting you back and forth because you watching No Mercy.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing because when they did the player introductions, Vernon Davis popped up. And I told you, I was like, wow, Vernon got me laughing. You're like, well, what'd he do? And I was like, he did his intros. Vernon Davis, Maryland. And then I just,
what the fuck was that?
And when he did it, all I could picture was sweet potato yams. Man. And so I'm like, oh man, that's hilarious. Like, that's comedy. And so then you're like, oh yeah, well, don't let whole ass Vernon Davis torch you and make you look bad. And I swear to God, right on cue, 2 plays later, blown coverage, and touchdown. He catches the ball towards the back of the end zone. And because, remember when he went up for that dunk and he flopped and it bounce back when he tried it.
Yep.
Then I got to see him grab the football, turn around, and shoot a damn free throw in between the goalposts. And it's 14-0, and I'm like, what the hell's really going on right now? And before I even realized it, it was halftime, and we had only had like 44 yards through the game. Like, not Derek throwing for 44 yards. I mean, we had 44 yards total through the game. And I'm like, this not what I'm accustomed to.
No, you're like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. No! Oh, please, God, no!
Yeah, like, honestly, I haven't been accustomed to this in, 2.5, 3 years. Even when we had that 7-9 season, when it was Coach DeRio and the staff's first year there, we were still looking at a situation like every game we're in, we can compete. It was before that where I was like, oh man, I don't know what the hell was going on. I actually felt like that. And came out in the second half, and it was still more to do about nothing. To the point where Dotson, I don't even know if Dotson was drafted, but Dotson goes over Emerson and just heaves this ball in to the point where you watch it on replay. He heaves it in, and then he gives him this disrespectful look like, bye. And then he turns around and goes in the end zone. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's 21-0 on national TV in a year where we're supposed to go deep into the playoffs.
That's in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, man,
it was a humbling experience, wasn't it?
Man, it was humbling, but for me, it was just...
Really?
It was more so just like, really? Like, we didn't even... I could deal with losing. It's just, we didn't even come out to compete. And the points we did get were just basically off of Washington's slip-ups. Like, the touchdown we got was because they lost the ball on the punt, and we recovered it, and, Jared Cook got in the end zone. And then we were supposed to have another touchdown. There's times I'm glad Beast Mode is here, and then there's times I'm like, why did we bring him here to treat him like Pete Carroll treated him?
Well, because you guys weren't giving him the ball, huh?
We were it was goal. Not once did we run it.
Why?
I don't know.
Seattle.
Yeah, it was just one of those games where I was like, again, I could deal with losing. It was a nationally televised game, and that's how he went out. And I was like,
well. And
I was like, man, I'm gonna go take some medicine. And I actually said on in the TSDN on the game thread. I was like, man, I don't need this shit. I'm gonna watch Rick and Morty. I did it like Kevin Hart. I was like, I don't need this shit. No, I don't need to take this because I'm watching it, and it's just been so long since I've watched a game, and I wasn't getting paid to watch a loss. And I was like, this shit's horrible. Like, this is like, at least when we lost, I was like, well, yeah, that sucks.
At least I got paid.
Yeah, like this time I was like, shit. All I had was Wingstop.
Welcome to my world, nigga.
But it was one of those ones where it's just like, man. And then to make matters worse, we got to go to Denver next week. And
that's going to be y'all real test. Y'all better not be asleep. Y'all better not
I mean, you're exactly right. Look,
in a way, both teams are going to be pissed off. Both teams are pissed off.
Because Denver fell through too. So, I mean, honestly, this is the real test is how do you bounce back? Because I was under the mind frame we weren't going to go undefeated anyways. Like, it's just those type of seasons are rare to come by. And as much as you would love for it to happen, the reality is that, stuff happens.
Shit happens. And not only that, but motherfucking Alex Smith is still, the Kansas City still on the cut, still beating niggas.
I don't want to talk about them, man.
I know. No, you don't want to talk about them.
I don't want to talk about them,
my favorite quarterback of all time, Alex Smith.
It ain't got nothing to do with Alex Smith. All you know is Alex Smith.
Yep.
You don't know Houston on defense, who's been bothering our damn run game the whole time. You don't know this dude Tyreek Hill, who seems to just catch the ball at the 15-yard line on his own 15-yard line. All of a sudden, he ends up in the end zone. Like, you don't know about these guys. You don't know about this dude, Kelsey, who clearly does not give a fuck about CTE and will run over 3 people bigger than him for the end zone. Like, you don't know what it's like to play these motherfuckers 2 times a year. It's hard.
It's hard.
The last time we beat them was when we got our first win of the season after starting 0-10. And I'm really starting to think if Kansas City made a deal with the damn devil and said, we'll give them that win if you allow us to whoop their ass for the rest of eternity. Because so far, it just ain't looking good. Last 4 games, we've been 0-4.
Oh, shit. But now,
I don't want to talk about Kansas City. Kansas City looked like the team to beat, along with the Falcons. Like those are the teams that look like they're gonna be in a collision course in February.
And meanwhile, it's about to be
pop off.
Meanwhile, while we're recording this, we're watching Monday Night Football, and the Cowboys are right now tied up with Arizona. So
yeah, Dak made a hell of a run into the end zone.
Oh yeah, can we just talk about what the Cowboys did?
Yeah, so we ended that with Sunday night, and of course, we go into the Monday night game, and like I had stated, it was Daniel Snyder with the Redskins and Jerry Jones with the Cowboys. They made no statements about what was going to take place in regards with Donald Trump. They actually didn't make a statement towards him, speaking out against his words. But Drea, so for those who don't know, Drea actually is the fiance of one of the defensive backs for the Cowboys. And what set everything off was she went on Snapchat and she had a black screen and she had writing. And basically what it was saying was when you want to make a difference, but you're told you're not allowed to.
Ooh.
Which then sparked everybody read it and was like, oh, so, it's coming from the top down to the bottom. Mm-hmm. Don't demonstrate. Mm-hmm. So Busby and I had actually set out to record this a whole lot earlier, towards mid-afternoon. But through the advice of one of my boys, Martine, we actually decided to push it off so that way we could actually wait to see what was taking place with the National Anthem. So as we're watching, Busby is under the mind frame of, fuck that locked arms, shit. Me, I'm under the mind frame of, you know what, as long as you are taking a step towards it, I'm not going to denounce how you decide to demonstrate, because that would actually be hypocritical on my end, considering that people are trying to tell us how to demonstrate, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. You ain't got to deal with our battles. Like, and we're not harming anybody. We're not using disrespectful vernacular. We're not doing any of that. So,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So from my, I understand that, and I would agree with you. However, we also are taking knees to be treated equally and to unify, and them actually linking arms is actually them unifying. So, it is what it is. I understand people don't like it. I get it. Just for me, it's like, as long as you're demonstrating, that's, at this point, that's all I could ask for.
Anyway, it's besides the point.
But right besides the point. So we're watching, and Busby's in the middle of his, man, fuck all that locked arms shit. And as soon as he says that, they all in locked arms, the Cowboys drop down to knee, Jerry Jones included.
And me and JC started running around. I know he's probably, I was like, shit! Like, this is going to piss off everybody. This is going to piss off everybody.
And the next thing I know, they were back up on their feet. And I was like, wait, what the hell just happened?
Whoa, what? I was like, whoa, what?
And then because when I get ready to record, my TV is turned down. So that way, you can't hear the TV. We don't get hit with, copyright lawsuits and shit like that.
For real.
I turned the TV back up just to see what's going on. Come to find out, National Anthem didn't even start yet. And I was like, well, you, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a photo op. That's what the fuck that shit was. That was a fucking photo op. They got backed away.
And one of my boys put down, like, Jerry Jones looked just like Ray Lewis when he was on that ground. Like, I got to do this. I don't even want to be here right now. Yeah, honestly, I actually would give them a little bit of credit, considering the fact that I didn't even think they were going to do anything.
Yeah, a little bit, but that was a photo op. Technically, that don't even count. So whatever to me, that was a photo op. If they would have took that knee during the National Anthem and stood there, I would have gave them even a little bit more respect, maybe. But I would have given
them a little more respect, maybe.
But I'm a Niner fan. And technically, fuck the Cowboys.
Oh, man. God damn.
Yeah, that was from the soul. Fuck the Cowboys to an extent. I mean, I kind of got respect for them, kind of. But I'm a Niner fan, and at the end of the day, they're like, legendary.
Shout out to my boys, Bryce Butler, DJ Duffel, Darren McFadden. Y'all my dogs, man.
Whatever. Fuck them. So, no, not them. The Cowboys.
I was like, whoa, man, we gonna fight. We gonna fight. No, just disrespect my dogs like that,
All respect to them. All respect to them.
Like, you met Bryce. I introduced you to Bryce. He treated you. He treated you so kindly.
I was like, oh shit. No. All respect to him. Disrespect to the Cowboys. Disrespect to the Cowboys. All respect to your boys. There you go.
He listens from time to time, so I'm gonna joke with him beforehand.
Hello, funny. Like, man, fuck them. But
so we had good football in the NFL. We also had some really another week of good ass football in the NCAA. I'm gonna tell you right now, that Penn State Iowa game, that was the headliner for Saturday night. Look, I was here. I finally reached a point in my music production class where we're now actually doing music programming, and my assignment was to recreate a drum pattern and redo a bass line using Logic Pro. Me being who I am and appreciating good bass lines and drums, I picked Dr. Dre, Keep Your Head Ringing, so I could redo the drums and redo a bass line. Came out pretty fire, but that's besides the point.
You said something. You told me some crazy ass shit someone said in your class, but that's another story.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get. I'll find a point to get to that real quick later.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my thing, and I decided to take a break. And when I turned the TV on, second half, and it's a tight game. Like it's not a high scoring game, but you can tell it's intense all the way through. Because usually it's hard to come across a low scoring game that's really good. This was one of them. And Penn State was actually up. And all of a sudden, Iowa, they were the home team. They start creeping back. I think one of them had a 65-yard touchdown, and the next thing you know, another guy breaks free, and they have the lead with, I think, 4 minutes left. And I'm like, yo, Iowa could actually pull off this upset because Penn State was number 4 at the time. I don't know if they still are. And then Penn State was like, yeah, we actually got plans to go to the playoffs, so fuck all this. And they drove the length of the field. It was 4th and game. Now, I know some of y'all out there are like, what the hell is he talking about? I've never heard of anything called 4th and game. It was 4th and goal, but there was only 5 seconds left. So basically, this is it. Like, they're down by 4. This is literally 4th and game. And timeout gets called. Each team's going through the hole. They come back. Penn State's quarterback drops back, and I actually saw everything in slow motion. I saw the receiver creep towards the back of the end zone. He had leverage. Next thing I know, the ball disappears from the quarterback's hand, hits the receiver right in the back of the end zone, and he runs to the other side. And it was supposed to be a walk-off touchdown, but NCAA rules say even with that, you still have to kick the PAT. So Penn State being petty as hell, they like, well, we don't want this PAT. You not think they took they hiked the ball, and the place kicker, he just threw that shit the other way. Just threw it the other way. Game over.
Blouses.
And what made it even more intense was the stadium was rocking. It was so loud. And as soon as old boy caught the ball and left the end zone, it was dead silent. Dead silent. Ridiculously silent.
I love those. I love those types of games. When
speaking of kickers, I almost forgot Philadelphia Eagles. They won off of a 61-yard field goal, which doesn't sound like much because you usually hear about 1 or 2 of those a season, except that it came from their rookie kicker, and he actually now holds the record in the NFL for the longest kick by a rookie.
Give himself a nice paycheck for that.
Well, we'll see because he's a rookie. You don't get treated nicely when you on your rookie contract.
But it's cool.
You keep making those. He gonna walk away with about $15 million guaranteed. But
just for kicking a ball.
But he got to earn that. You got to keep kicking more of those.
Yeah,
they just showed the replay. Shout out to that boy Elliott.
But can we talk about wrestling for a bit?
Go ahead. For the listeners out there, it's sports season, so sometimes you just gonna deal with these sports.
Like I said, music's kind of slow for a minute, so we gotta talk about some sports and shit. But when it comes to wrestling, last night was No Mercy, and it was the 2 main events was Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman and John Cena versus Roman Reigns. But the main coup de grace of that match, because Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, that was kind of a disappointment of a match. It was cool, but, after Braun Strowman was literally just abusing Brock Lesnar throughout the entire match, all Brock Lesnar did was give him 1 F5, and that's all she wrote. All this time WWE did just to build that nigga, and all of a sudden, it just after 1 F5, that's it. I don't understand
the paying attention to these damn wrestling matches.
I know why you don't pay attention, but as a fan, it's like I don't get their booking. I don't get their writing. Sometimes Vince McMahon is the old Al Davis of what you guys had, but whatever. But the real story coming from this is John Cena went against Roman Reigns, and pretty much right now it was pretty much a passing of the torch match. That's pretty much what it was. And Roman Reigns beat John Cena after John Cena gave him hella fucking attitude adjustments and shit like that. He kicked out of all of them, and Roman Reigns gave him 1 spear, and that's all he wrote. And pretty much, and after that, John Cena said he respected him, and he put his hand up. But the real coup de grace of this is that he did an interview with Raw Talk, which is like their after show. And Cena was kind of talking like, I'm 40 now and I can't keep going at the rate that I used to go at. So he pretty much alluded that he's a part-timer now. He's going to focus more on his outside shit. Because if you notice, John Cena's been on a whole lot of commercials lately. He's doing a whole lot more movies. Come on, his theme song was used during the Chrysler. I think it was Chrysler or some car commercial. They used it in one of the commercials. I was like, what the hell? He's hosting the Today Show. He's hosting award shows. He's doing everything The Rock is doing. So, yeah, man, he's transitioning into Hollywood, and he's slowly going away from wrestling. So people are saying this was kind of like they're saying, thank you, Cena. That's like trending on Twitter and shit like that. I'm like, he said, I'm not going. When they put up the bat signal, I'll show up. But, as of right now, I'm just going to be a back burner for now. So,
yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, it's a long time coming. He should have been to Hollywood, man. Rock left when he was at the peak of his career. So, whatever. Shout out to Cena, I guess.
You gotta get that bread, man.
Gotta get that money, man.
So that actually leads into an important day in the NBA. Well, actually, before we get to this important day, in the midst of all this, with whole-ass motherfucker in charge, the players responding, and the NFL doing the protests, we actually had kind of a major deal take place that actually would have been a lead-off story in all the sports any other week, which was Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
Hoodie Melo.
So
Friday night, for those who, I think I've explained it plenty of times, he kept the Houston Rockets as his number one desired team, and he just wasn't changing it. And Houston has this player, Ryan Anderson, just has this terrible contract, and the Knicks were like, we're not taking that contract, so you're not getting traded there. And Melo had a no trade clause, which meant that he would not be traded unless he agreed to the trade. And that was the team he wanted to go to. New York was like, we're not doing it. So he finally opened up and he re-added the Cleveland Cavaliers to his list. So everybody's like, oh, he's going to end up in Cleveland by Monday. Like, maybe he was right because he and his camp had been saying he's going to be traded by Monday. Like, it's going to happen. Everybody's like, he's not going to Houston. Mm-hmm. But he also put another team on that list. And the other team was the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I saw that shit and I was like, that ain't going to happen.
It kind of raised some intrigue because it was like, ooh, like maybe that's just to get a high bid, to get out of the Cavs. Mm-hmm. And not even 24 hours later, I wouldn't even say, it wasn't even 12 hours later,
I got a notification on my ESPN notification.
Carmelo Anthony has been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Enes Kanter, Doug McDermott, and a second-round pick, which basically means Melo got traded for a ham cheese sandwich, a pack of Fritos,
Knicks
and a
ain't got
Capri Sun.
Shit. Pretty much the Knicks ain't got shit.
You know what? The Knicks got a clean slate. Because the NBA is a hell of a lot more different than the NFL. In the NFL, it's harder to come by rebooting your team. The NBA, it's pretty easy. You get rid of contracts. You go through 1 to 2 years of just complete abysmal performances, and then you work your way up. They already have their franchise player in Porzingis. They got rid of Melo, so they don't have that cloud hanging over them anymore. And they got some contracts that are going to be leaving the books. And, it doesn't look like they got much now, but it's at least a starting point for them and their new GM to go to the next step in the rebuilding process.
OKC. Now
as far as OKC goes,
they got a squad. Still won't be enough.
OKC looking pretty damn good, man. I got to say, like, you had enough. As of now, it's not going to be enough, but you never know because these are just early trades. You still got the trade deadline.
True.
In February. Now, you don't know what's going to take place from here and then.
True that.
This whole thing with Russell Westbrook, as great as the reigning MVP was, when it came to the playoffs, he'd take a break for 9 seconds, and they would be up by 14. Next thing you know, they were down by 2.
Yep.
I don't think you can do that anymore because now he has 2 legitimate scorers.
He has Carmelo
assisting him, and Paul George.
And Paul, yeah. Oh, my
and the thing with Paul George is that while Paul George is a good scorer, Paul George takes real good pride in his defensive abilities. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Paul George is going to have that much of is going to be indifferent about being potentially the third leading scorer on this team because he's still going to get his. Trust you me.
Yeah.
And I don't think Russ is really going to be worried about, am I still going to be able to score? Because if him getting triple-doubles looked easy last year, shit, he might be getting triple-doubles making them look easy this year. Like, he ain't even got a front about his assists anymore. You alley-oop that bitch. Mm-hmm. Look, man, everybody coming out to the West, and, I'm low-key still pissed off because this is supposed to be our coming out year, you know what I'm saying? We go to the playoffs and all that, but the Western Conference is going to be fun this year, man. Like, you got some squads out here.
I feel bad for LeBron, though.
I don't.
I don't. Well, technically, he's the only star out there.
Because if you he's the only star there, but if you think about it, now when it comes to the playoffs, these Western Conference teams going to be beating each other's ass to get to the finals.
Just to go up against LeBron and them.
Right, and even though the Warriors still looking like that team to beat, I don't know if it's going to be as simplified as it was last year.
Oh, no, it's going to be a battle.
Again, for all intents and purposes, they're the favorites, and that's what we're rolling with until we get to that point. But I don't think this is going to be a cakewalk like it was for them last year. And you factor in that, this whole deal leads into Media Day, which was a very important day for the NBA. Kind of unofficially starts off. I mean, really, the draft starts off the new year, but this is kind of the setting point of, okay, preseason is now this upcoming weekend. We're here, ready to go. Melo showed up, and it wasn't Melo that showed up. It was Hoodie Melo that showed up.
Hoodie Melo.
I'm telling you, like, if they can let this man play in a hoodie, OKC might go 94 and 2. I say 94 and 2 because them 2 losses going to come by the Lakers. But they look scary, on paper. We got to see what it looks like, when they play. But what I found even more funnier was these opening games. First, you had Kyrie Irving, and he gets traded to Boston, and it's gonna be Cleveland and Boston opening up their season. And now you got the Thunder playing the Knicks opening up their season. Like, there's no waste of time getting into these plot lines.
It's like this was like the most entertaining off season in NBA history.
It's been a long time coming. Like, it's entertaining. Then you got Dwayne Wade, who reached a buyout with the Bulls. His contract was he was getting $23 million a year. He was like, here, y'all keep 8 of it. I'm gonna take 15. So basically, he got $38 million for 1 year.
I keep 8. Y'all keep that. I'm rich, bitch.
That was Gabrielle Union in his ear.
Oh yeah, it was. Hell yeah.
Gabrielle was like, I will allow you to give $8 million back. But now our $15 million is coming with us.
So what are his options? It's the Cavs and who else?
Well, so obviously the Cavs play a strong destination because, of course, him and LeBron are basically brothers. Mm-hmm. The Thunder obviously have now risen as a strong destination.
Yeah, if he goes to the Thunder, then it might be a little scary.
However, you have 2 teams where he actually has shown some interest in. And one of them actually being the Lakers, which I wouldn't mind, but at the same time, like, look, man, you old as dirt, and we got young players. We trying to evaluate, see where we going. So unless you want to come in and be one of them player coaches where you play like 16 minutes a night and you just telling people how to be pros.
Pretty much do what Kobe did in his last few years.
No, Kobe. That's not what Kobe did. Kobe was hurt. That's why he didn't play. If Kobe wasn't hurt, Kobe would still be playing 34 minutes.
His last few years.
His last year he played, it was the Kobe tour. This is not the same thing. You've been disrespectful to Kobe the last 2 weeks, and I don't appreciate that shit. Okay? You were so disrespectful that you made me forget that it's a celebration going on in December because we're retiring both his numbers. That's how disrespectful you've been. I don't appreciate that shit.
No. You forgot that.
No, you made me forget that.
Well, you went on rants, man. That's your fault.
Nah, you own up to what you said. Talking all that shit. Made me forget talking about KD, my favorite player.
He is.
I kick your ass through this microphone. Don't play games with me. I don't give a damn talking all that shit. Made me forget. But yes, we are celebrating in December 18th. We are Kobe Bryant will become the first player in NBA history to have both jerseys retired by one organization.
Well deserved to the Mamba.
Exactly, Black Mamba.
Anyway,
and then of course, so there, you got the Lakers, and then of course the one that makes the most sense is him going back to Miami. That's the one that makes the most sense to me. He should never left. But real. The stuff with Pat Riley and just how all that played out. It's the perfect out. Go back to Miami, Wade,
and retire there.
Yeah, especially because the way he's played, like honestly, this should be his last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back next year. If he comes back next year, I would then say go to Cleveland this year.
He might go to Cleveland.
Go try to get one more ring, which you really don't need at this point. You got 3 of them. Mm-hmm. But go try to get number 4, and if you can't get it, go. It is what it is. Go finish out Miami. At some point, finish out Miami. It's where you belong. You shouldn't have been gone to begin with. It's not his fault. He wanted his money. They didn't want to pay him. It is what it is. But just get back to Miami.
Fuck it.
And then, of course, like I said, we lead into Media Day. Well, before Media Day, Kyrie Irving was actually on First Take last week, which we didn't talk about because last week we didn't have a lot of information. We were both busy.
I didn't even know he was on First Take until after the fact. I was like, oh, what?
I didn't have the time to watch it, listen to it, whatever. But basically, he was pretty much had Mamba mentality answering them questions. Where he's just like, I'm not, I don't have to answer to anybody. Like, I'm my own person. Mm-hmm. And I agreed with him. Like, he didn't have to tell anybody. Like, one thing Stephen A. and Max were asking him were like, did you run this by LeBron? And his answer was, no. Did I have to?
Yep.
I'm my own person. And people were drawing conclusions like, oh, well, y'all felt some type of way when Kevin Durant didn't tell Russell Westbrook. And it was like, look, man, he was out here telling everybody that they were stupid for these reports that he was going to leave OKC. He was making claims in the media about Russell Westbrook, being the guy that, he rides with nonstop. And to a certain extent, you got Kyrie, who after Game 5 when they lost, him saying, as long as me and LeBron stay together, we could, we can achieve anything.
And then he thought about it.
I get that, but then you also just have the fact that LeBron hasn't re-upped on this contract. And you're looking at a situation where if he leaves, it's like, I'm going to be in a situation where we're pretty much locked in because everybody's contracts are wrapped up on this organization. And we ain't going to be able to do much. So I'm going to focus on me now. And what I found most interesting was he actually said he's felt like this even the championship year. He just didn't want to make it a point where he was allowing his ego to get in the way of the team.
Championship. Oh, so he put it in the back burner.
Right. But he's actually felt like this for a long time because when he signed that contract extension, he signed it with the understanding in 2014 that this was going to be a new direction. At the time, it was David Blatt. This is going to be his team. And then 2 weeks later, that's when LeBron announced, I'm coming home. So it wasn't a situation where LeBron came back and he signed the contract. He had already had that signed with the understanding that, he was going to be the focal point. You just reach a point, and I don't blame him. He won the title. This isn't a KD Russ Westbrook situation in terms of how it went about. They won the title. They don't owe each other anything after that point. What people got upset with KD was the fact that they were up 3-1 against the Warriors, and literally 5 minutes away from going to the finals, they just played defense against Klay Thompson going ape shit.
Yep. I don't know, man. Like, it was Kyrie. With Kyrie, period, it's just like he just wants to be his own man, like he's been saying, and but he wants his own, like, his ego. It's pretty much that's what it was. He didn't want to be Robin no more. He wants to be Nightwing.
Hey, I can't blame him for that. Other people are like, oh well, goodbye to your chances, and it's like those are the same type of people that will be at a bullshit ass job for 30 years and not say anything. And then look back at their life and be pissed off at everybody else in their life at the fact that they didn't take a chance. It's like, if you fail, you fail. At least you can say you took the chance.
Yeah, so that's Kyrie Irving and LeBron.
That's Kyrie, and then, KD talked about it last week, but then he went and did his interview. And like I said, just when I start giving this motherfucker his props, he come out softer than baby shit. Talking about... I don't understand his mindset. Like, he actually needs a sports psychologist.
He's insecure, dog.
Like, he is so insecure.
Even after winning the championship, he still feels the type of way.
And somebody brought up a good point. They were like, they believe that when he won the title, he thought everybody was just going to give him his props. Like, okay, you did it. You showed us wrong, this and that. But when they didn't, that's when he started getting defensive. Like, well, what do you mean? And it's like, dog, you can't be serious right now. Like, you should have known that this was going to be coming. But at the end of the day, who gives a damn? You got your ring. You got what you came to set out for. And it was all so good with you coming out with that sneaker. You didn't have to say anything after that. You could have just let the sneaker do the talking.
Yeah.
But you went out with that gosh damn egg handle and ran your damn Twitter fingers. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're doing interviews talking about it's something that I just struggle with. And then they asked him about the situation. He's like, I did wrong. I just get caught up arguing with people, but the situation, it's really affected me. I haven't eaten. I can't sleep the past 2 days. And it's like, nigga, please.
Oh, yeah, I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Damn good and well. Damn good and well you had a cheeseburger on the way to that interview. Damn good and well you was sleeping
it was so funny.
Fine. And them silk linen sheets and bed frame and all that stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand what... This is the most confusing NBA superstar I have seen in a cool minute.
It's funny. Even Draymond Green said he laughed in his face after that shit happened.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he laughed in his face.
Draymond just looking at him like, man, you lucky you my teammate, you old whole-ass motherfucker.
You stupid. So they have a players-only meeting?
Well, no, they was getting to it. And again, when it comes to the Warriors as a collective, I talk trash because I just don't like the Warriors. I individually like these players. Individually, I like them. So when Draymond came out and was clowning, I applauded him because I was like, that's what you're supposed to do. Draymond a dog. You know what I'm saying? You just can't come around a dog, trying to be all nice and willy-nilly and not expect the dog to at least snap at you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get that.
Yeah.
But again, what they were going to have the players only meeting to not only discuss Trump, but they were going to discuss KD's offseason because his offseason has also not only been taking shots at people on Twitter and former teammates and coaches. If you've actually been paying attention, he's actually taking a shot at Steph Curry.
What way? How? What the hell?
Oh, you don't know about the Under Armour situation.
What's this?
So they came out. Or he went on, I don't know if he came out in an interview or if he said it on Twitter. Either way, he was like, man, ain't nobody out here buying Under Armour.
Damn it.
So
the fucking mouth shut.
So the Warriors was going to have I'm guessing they had that meeting, but they had made it clear they're going to have a players only meeting because they was going to basically just be like, fuck's up with your mind, my man?
Shut the fuck up, bruh. What's up with
you? And shout out Clinton Yates from ESPN. He was filling in for Bomani Jones on one of his shows on the radio, and he said it perfectly on Friday, so I had to repeat it. KD is entering the your man's zone.
Yeah,
we all know what the your man zone is when somebody not knowing what the situation is walks up to Draymond or Steph and just hits him with what's up with your mans? What's going on with your mans, bro? You know what I'm saying? Yep. I could not agree more. Yeah. It's one thing to go after the haters. It's another thing to forget that you and your fake egg Twitter and then save Russell Westbrook, bash everybody else in the OKC organization. It's a completely different stratosphere to then go after the sneaker company that the star player that you just joined before you got there is actually still a part of and actually released a nice sneaker for his 4th edition. It's kind of he's really in that what's up with your man zone. Like, I'm not I don't get this nigga, man. I really don't. And he's a nice guy. That's what's confusing about it.
Insecurities, that's all it is. He's just insecure. He always felt that. Yeah, he always felt that he wanted to be the best, and he's always hearing that shit from all around. Even when he wins the championship, people were still getting on his ass being a whole ass nigga for going to the team. So he's constantly hearing it over and over and over again. It can get to you. It can really get to you at the end of the day. I guess,
man. Look. At the end of the day, I win a title. And I'm not one of those people that says, well, I would have done this, because everybody's walks of life is different. I get that. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of you left OKC to go to Golden State because if you figured it was the best way to win a title. You got the title. What the hell are you arguing with people for now? You accomplished your goal. Look, man, I don't give a damn what other people think, man. You just I don't get this man. I don't get him. I really don't.
Well, shit, you know what you don't also get is them damn Laker jerseys. That's what you don't get.
Yeah. So
I didn't see the jerseys. I heard about them.
Back to NBA Media Day. Cavs started off their media day. They asked LeBron about his comments towards Trump, and he's like, "No, I don't regret it." like the president don't understand how much power he actually has in influencing people, and how many people actually look up to the president as a young child, youth. Oh my God, Des Bryant just got Jesus Louise. Get you some, Des Bryant. I see you.
Oh, what happened?
He bulldozed himself into the end zone. That's what happened.
Oh, damn.
He out there looking like Marvin, like Irvin's son.
Give
But
him that
LeBron,
money.
they asked LeBron about it. He was like, "I'm not backing down off my claims." You know, I read it, looked at it, and I was like, "Stuff wasn't even going." President is problematic.
Well,
And then they asked
about the damn jerseys.
Well, that's when we're getting to media day.
Oh, okay.
Today was media day, so we're leading up to that. So then they asked him about Kyrie Irving, and he was like, I thought he was in a situation for him, but that's not for me to question. All that I know was whenever he was ready to take the keys to the Cavs, I was ready to give it to him, and we could go from there. But he's like, but I wish he wouldn't refer to him by name, which is actually funny. He's like,
that's what he always does. I noticed that about LeBron. He's one of those niggas too, man.
He's passive aggressive. He's very passive aggressive. Where he's like, I wish the kid all the best. We'll go from there. And
with people he does not like, he does not refer their name, but he just be extra subliminal to him.
Right. And so then they asked him, do you have any advice for him? And he was like, I ain't got no advice for him. He's on the other team now. I don't give advice to people on the other team. Which I thought was funny because he's always giving advice to people on the other team any other time. For real,
yeah, you can tell he feels it what type of way.
But LeBron called the whole ass in charge a bum, and as far as I'm concerned, that gives him a get out of jail free card until January. Yeah, look, man. Look, when you call somebody a bum, you make it perfectly clear on where you stand. And to call the president of the United States a bum,
he ain't the president.
I laughed at that damn tweet all day Saturday. That tweet is easily top 10 of this damn decade. Easily. He called him a bum.
And he didn't say nothing back to him either. That's the funny thing. He didn't at him. Or probably whole ass nigga didn't even see the tweet. Because Fox, all he does is watch Fox News anyway. Right. So they probably haven't reported it yet. When they report it, then he'll respond.
He was on CNN. They actually showed part of his presser today on Media Day on CNN or whatever. Who cares? No,
I'm dead ass. That's all Trump watches is Fox News. He calls CNN and MSNBC fake news, so he doesn't watch them. Right. Because they report the facts.
So he did that. Anyway. Shout out to Greg Popovich. Of course, everybody knows I hate the Spurs too, but I love me some Greg Popovich.
Oh, he's
great man.
Trill.
He's trill. Arguably, look, I thought Phil Jackson was the greatest coach in the NBA. 11 rings, you can't say much. I'm starting to think Phil Jackson's success really just came from him knowing how to work with Hall of Fame talent NBA players. This man, Greg Popovich, it don't matter who is on the team. Like he's led teams that have been injured all year to 50-plus wins. Like this is arguably the greatest NBA coach ever.
Category, man.
Yeah, he's arguably the greatest NBA coach we've seen. Not only on the court, off the court, he's very, very aware in socialism and politics, and he spoke his mind today. And he made it perfectly clear. He spoke specifically on white privilege in saying, I don't understand why people just refuse to admit that they're just put in a situation that's better than others. Like, I don't know why we won't come to grips with that. And he actually analyzed it so perfectly. Where he said, you end up in, you're in a 100 meter race and you're already at 50 meters. Well, that's white privilege. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And, just shouts out to him. He's always been down for the culture, man. He's always been down for the culture. I hate the Spurs, but I love me some Greg Popovich, man.
Greg Popovich's that nigga, man. I give respect to him.
He really is. So they had their media day. Now, leading up to our media day, when it comes to the Lakers.
Damn. Uh-oh.
When you've been a Lakers fan as long as I've been a Lakers fan, and again, for all you listeners out there talking about, what you talking about? You was only a fan when Kobe and Shaq was there. I'm going to tell you two names. Cedric Ceballos. Okay?
Yeah, that's taking it to the 90s.
You look up Cedric Ceballos, okay? That's how long I've been a fan for.
Mm-hmm. So you went through it all.
I've been through it my first year watching. I was like 5 or 6 years old, and some bitches missed the damn playoffs. I was looking at my uncles like, this is who y'all watch? Like, man, this is
shut up, nigga. He's like, shut up, nigga.
It's pretty much. And so, look at me. I'm sounding like damn president himself calling people sons of bitches. I ain't even look, man.
You damn son of a... Sound like Austin. You dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah. Back to my point. When you've been a fan as long as I've been a fan for, you know that through the good times, through the rough times, through the fucking Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak times, no matter how good you're rising up, there's going to be something that always just makes you go, what the hell were you thinking? And when they dropped these jerseys
I haven't seen them
a month ago, when they dropped these jerseys a month ago, they was clean. They was traditional. They were simple. We were still looking for an advertiser at the time. They showed these gosh damn jerseys on Friday. And the damn logo for the advertiser is this company called Wish. So on one side it just has the Nike check sign, and then on the other side it just reads the word Wish. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Now I wish a nigga would.
What made it worse was that this company Wish actually has a secondary logo where it's just a W in the form of, you know how when the teams go to the NCAA tournament, they put the NCAA blue patch on the jerseys? Mm-hmm. It's just like that, except they have a W in there. And I was like, why the hell didn't you guys just go with that and make that blue backdrop the colors that go along with the team? Because it would have made sense to have Lakers with a damn W on their jersey considering our history. Why didn't you do that?
I mean, whatever. I don't know, man.
If you look at these shits, man, I know we talking about some damn jerseys, but shit, man, like,
they might fix them by maybe when the season gets closer.
They can't fix them because once it's done, it's already done.
Oh, they might redesign the color. How about that?
It ain't about the color. It's just this. You see 4 letters, Wish. They didn't even choose the secondary backdrop. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they had all that. They had the option. They didn't. But anyways, I digress. We had media day. It was a great media day.
So your boy Lonzo redesigned his shoe and shit, huh?
Lonzo redesigned his shoe. He was like, you know what? I'm making rap records for shoes now. I can do whatever the hell I want. And I was like, Lonzo, do you? Triple B's in this bitch.
Okay, so he better deliver, my nigga.
Lonzo gonna deliver. Don't you worry about it. Look, everything they've done up to this point, has he not delivered? Have you not been entertained?
I'm talking about basketball, nigga.
Have you not been entertained by basketball? Or do you just not pay attention with him? Okay? There's only been 2 triple-doubles in NBA Summer League. He's got both of them. Are you not entertained? You don't worry about that. You a Warriors fan anyways. You just like Kobe.
I'm not a Warrior fan, nigga.
You just, as soon as Kobe left, you showed your true colors.
I'm not a Warrior fan.
You know what I'm saying? I bet you was just talking about KD in a bad light just for the show. In the backdrop, you probably like, hey, I support anything KD does because you're a Warriors fan. I see how you do it.
Hey, at least I won't abandon it. I won't abandon the podcast to go to a game now, would I?
Oh man.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Lonzo redesigned his shoes, so we got that going on. As far as what I saw on media day, I liked it. Everything, they said all the right things. Lonzo was ready to ball. Brandon Ingram came in. He got his hair twisted up. Brandon Ingram he's a funny cat to me. I really like Brandon Ingram, man. He last year he came in. There's nothing against nerds. I'm a big nerd when it comes to certain topics, subjects in life. He just came in looking like a nerd with all these tats and everything, and then it was like he just got his swag up during the second half of the season after struggling. And he was like, you know what? Bump rocking this hair like this. I'm going to get my twisties. You know, I'm going to do my crisscross look. He came out. He out there looking real swaggy at this point, to the point where I forgot Swaggy P wasn't even on the team no more. But he came out ready to go. The word is he's taking up Kobe's mantra. I think his locker is actually the same locker Kobe had. And at the point now, he's the first one in the gym and he's the last one to leave. That's exactly what I want to hear from Brandon Ingram. I like it. All the supporting players that have come in, they're ready to do work. From the sounds of it, they actually have all been in the gym with each other nonstop before training camp. So I'm very excited to hear it. Again, I don't know what's going to take place for this season when it comes to us. I just expect us to compete, be better, and put us in a position so when the next offseason comes, we got a lot of money to spend and throw around in motherfuckers' faces. You
know what? That's how I should feel about my Niners. Just compete, get better.
You should.
Next season, I think
you're in a rebuilding phase. Like, it's impossible to think I just want my damn quarterback now. It's like you're 0-3 now, so it's clear you're not going to the playoffs. Lose out to get a high pick.
Yeah.
And use it on the quarterback.
Yeah. It's just it just came and went, but yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I know you do.
I get it. So that pretty much covers basketball. Then you got Eddie Lacy, and look, we're almost done with sports. Eddie Lacy. Get off of Eddie Lacy's back, for real, okay? For those talking about Eddie Lacy's weight, I will personally attest to this. Dealing with your being overweight is a lot more than just, I'm hungry and I want to eat. Okay, there's a certain relationship that you have with food that is triggered by something from your past. That it's actually a coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. All right? Eddie Lacy was running back with the Packers, overweight for the last year and a half. Packers released him just because he was injury prone at that point. Seahawks picked him up. In his contract, he has incentives where if he reaches certain weight goals throughout the season, I think he gets anywhere between $15,000 and $35,000 extra as a bonus for an incentive.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, word got out to social media, and they started clowning him for it.
Man, fat people clowning another nigga for getting fat. Just like how they got at Kanye for getting fat.
My thoughts exactly.
Fuck out of here.
My thoughts exactly. My thing is look, you are clowning a man who has actually put himself out there in this position that can actually help other people in this same situation. You know, this isn't just a situation where it's like, I just want to overeat. There's a psychological effect that goes along with this. Mm-hmm. Just get off of Eddie Lacy's back, man. Like, for real. Like, let the man do him. If you feel like you would do it, then not only go ahead and do it, but help somebody else that's struggling with it. I've reached the point where it's like, y'all be pissed off about a motherfucker kneeling for a flag, but all of a sudden you want to talk shit about them when, you know, they in that position. I've noticed how people are. I really have. I've noticed. Oh, that was almost a pick. Huh? That was almost a pick. And then I'm not going to get into that last topic because it's whatever. But to get into this topic, just when we thought Aaron Hernandez was a figment of the past, Aaron Hernandez has reappeared in the form of litigation because
that was a pick.
Nah, well, he dropped. Yeah, should have. He dropped it. Yeah. Aaron Hernandez, his brain was donated to science, and they went and examined his brain. Not only did he have CTE, he had CTE to the point where he was a 27-year-old walking around with a 71-year-old's brain.
Damn.
He was that fucked up. And what the family's attorney is now doing is he's planning on suing the NFL and the Patriots. And he's claiming that CTE was the root of his issues. And not necessarily that they're responsible for it, but they didn't do enough to make him aware of the situation. Now, on one hand, in his defense, Tom Brady actually helped out his defense when he went and did that interview when he was talking about, I've had concussions.
And his wife even said, like, he.
I'm sorry. You know, I'm so sorry. It wasn't Tom Brady that said it. It was his wife that said it.
Yeah, his wife said it.
Right,
and
his
then
wife stated it.
And the Patriots knew about it. That's what she accused.
Right.
And then, the Patriots go, no, we don't. Now, this little information comes out. And it's like, man, I'm not surprised. This is the same Patriots who fucking cheat. The owner is cool with Putin and that whole ass nigga in office. And they're known to cheat. So it's not surprising.
So, on one hand, from a defense standpoint, that actually kind of helps. And there's other points that analysts are making where this actually might stand. On the flip side, if you're going to go after them, are you going to go after the University of Florida, the NCAA, and then his high school? Because the root of his issues all started in high school once his dad died. Shit. That's really where the root of the issue started. So are you going to go as far back as high school? Because chances are if you aren't, this is probably something that you shouldn't go through because I get it, but at the same time, you're kind of making CTE. You're putting it in this position where it's responsible for somebody who was clearly a gangster that just so happened to play football. Like, this wasn't a situation where it was a football player trying to be a thug. This was clearly a motherfucker that was on the set. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just happened
the set. He just happened
to play football and got a $40 million contract out the deal. Like, this isn't him trying to be something. Like, this is who he was. We got to keep tabs on it because this is something very, very, very interesting that it's going to be something interesting, man. That's all I got to say.
It's going to be interesting, but That was sports talk / political talk / all that.
Hell of a segment. Took up all the damn show.
No, it didn't.
We still got more.
We still got more. If y'all still listening, you guys are the real MVPs.
It's a long ass episode this week, but appreciate y'all for sticking with us, man.
For real, bruh. Because you know, even though it was like a kind of quiet day in the music, a lot of shit did happen when it comes to the day of music. Because we got to give a shout out to Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Yes.
From Love and Hip Hop to #1 on the motherfucking Bill chart.
First there was
Billboard
Instagram,
charts.
from stripping to Instagramming to Love and Hip Hop to the #1 song in fucking the world, crack.
Yes, in the world.
#1 song on Billboard, and I feel so. It's like watching like one of your good friends just make it. Like it feels like I know her. You know what I mean? It really feels. She just has that
related. She just has that relatable vibe, Mike. That's the girl. That's literally girl around the block.
Yeah, like you could bring around your parent. Your mom would kind of hate her at first, but then the more she gets to know her, she'll like her.
Exactly.
And that's Cardi B.
And when your mama going through some shit, she gonna call Cardi, and Cardi gonna catch a case defending your mama. Like
exactly.
She just that chick where it's just like you want to see her win. Exactly. And anybody that is against her is against you.
See, and I kind of warned this because you know how I am about Nicki. You know how I am, how petty I am when it comes to her downfall. Yep. And she asked for this shit. So I remember when Anaconda was really creeping the charts and I was seeing how big the song was getting, this one little Nicki fan was all going like, well, Anaconda was #2. You know, and you know, Bodak Yellow just came out. You should try again, boo-boo. And then I made and say, you know what? Bodak Yellow is about to be the #1 song in the country in the next few weeks.
That you did.
I said, fave this tweet. Fave this tweet. And ever since then, it's what happened? What happened?
Dak was running for his life. Didn't get it though. I got a punt. But it just shocked me. He was running for his life. He was running for his life in the end zone, and he almost got sacked. And I was like, "Oh my god!" But he got it out.
Replay. Like I said, we're still recording this for our Monday Night Football still going on. He's like, but I can't be saying that shit. Anyway, y'all listening to me still? Oh damn, that could have been a safety, you stupid fuck. Anyway, like I was saying, when I made that statement, the song started creeping up the charts. It went from #10 to #8, and then in a few weeks it went up to #3.
You can't fuck with
me if you wanted to. Man, I was in the club when that song came on. It was like a fucking spiritual chant. Every from females, it's like it makes.
I told you about when I went to Trap Karaoke and they played that joint. Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's just a great moment, and it crept, and then it went to #2, and then I saw Taylor Swift, and you know how I'm about. It was going like, oh, she has to go #1, even though Taylor Swift just came out, she's about to go #1, and then this is how petty, not just Taylor Swift, because she lowered the price. I guess her label or they lowered the price of her single. Look what you made me do from 99 cents to 69 cents to try to keep her at #1. And not only that, Nicki Minaj fans were going out the way to stream "Look What You Made Me Do." They were campaigning and said, "Stream this song just to make sure Cardi doesn't go #1."
I can't respect the whole ass fan base. I can't.
That's some petty whole ass fan base.
Let me rephrase that. Because I was always taught that you don't use can't in your vocabulary. I won't respect the whole ass fan base.
Just say that. I cannot. How about that?
No. Can't is because you can do all things in Christ who strengthens you. I won't.
I will not.
I will not.
Mm-hmm. I would not.
Defend the whole ass fan base like that. And Nicki's fan base is whole ass. They
think they're the fucking beehive. They think they got the power like that. And I'll give you that. They are very loyal. They are loyal to Nicki, but the thing is, they don't have the power that the Beehive has. No. The Beehive will get you the fuck up out of here. That's why I want something to happen. I want the whole ass nigga to say something about Beyonce. Because Beehive, oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Can you imagine if that happens? He says some shit about Beyonce. Oh my God. Beehive will be in front of the White House. Not by the fences. They will be in front of the White House.
And if he doesn't go at Beyonce... I think enough time has passed with the Jay-Z situation where, Beehive is, they feel some type of way about him, but, because Beyonce had re-up with some more kids with him, they still rocking with Jigga. I want him to say something about Jigga. I really do.
That's too predictable.
It's too predictable, but it would make so much sense. He's so predictable.
Exactly. True. But just for fuckery's sake, let's say he goes after Beyonce. Like, the cover of To Pimp a Butterfly? Just imagine that cover just with a bunch of gay and Beyonce fans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we gonna bring that album up a little bit later in one of these reviews.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, that's besides the point. So, yeah, they tried to stop it. They tried to stop Cardi B's reign, but then this Monday morning, I woke up, I looked on Twitter, Billboard made the announcement. Not only is she the number one, she had the number one record in the country.
Number one?
The single went platinum.
Platinum.
It went platinum status.
Oh, my goodness.
She is, and not only that, she made history.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, what happened?
Start stitching his jacket, man. Don't even. Some of these guys, man. Look, don't.
Man,
you do not have to wait.
Me, man, when I'm trying
start
to make this.
Start stitching these men's jackets, man. This man, Larry Fitzgerald, he this long in this NFL, and he's still making plays like this. Look, man. I'm sorry. Go back to his. Look, man. Larry Fitzgerald, one of the greatest wide receivers I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen him personally live. Get that man. Get his damn jacket stitched.
Get him a ring first. Anyway. So, what was I? Anyway, so, yeah, not only is she has the number one record in the country, she is platinum. So, she's platinum status. And not only that, she made history. She became the second female hip-hop artist to have a number one single on the charts and with no features. The only other person who did that was Lauryn Hill.
Oh, man. Mrs. Late to my own shows.
Well, so pretty much you have the best of both words. You have the conscience and you have because it was doo-wop, that thing that went number one. And then the other one was Bodak Yellow. So it's back and forth. So it's like you have ratchetness and you have consciousness. Mm-hmm. That's hip-hop in a nutshell.
Exactly.
So, I'm just I was happy for Cardi. I'm really happy. She didn't have to rely on a cosign. She didn't have to rely on going pop.
Oh my God, touchdown.
She didn't have to do none of that shit.
Stitch his jacket.
Anyway, yeah, he gonna stitch his jacket, but anyway, you don't have to rely on she didn't have to rely on none of that shit. She just relied on herself. And also when I was watching a little Billboard interview from earlier this year, she said her one goal is that she wanted a Billboard top 10 single. She didn't say, I want to go number one. She said, I just want to be on the Billboard top 10. I want to make the Billboard top 10. And not only did it's the law of attraction. Not only did she make the top 10, she went number one. So, shout out to her. And
shout out Cardi B.
And everyone was waiting to see what Nicki was going to do. And, she went on Twitter and congratulated her. But at the same time, I feel that shit's fake. I'm sorry. That shit's fake to me. You could have told your fan. You could have campaigned for Cardi and said she should have got that number one record. You could have when that news came out that your fans were campaigning to stop her from going number one. You could have came on your Instagram and you could have said, let's stop this bullshit. Let's all come together and make sure we do this for the culture and hip hop. No, you just stayed quiet until it fucking happened. The fuck out of here, Nicki. Her reign's done. I'm sorry. Her reign is done, and she's doing fucking. What else is she doing? She's doing little interviews that she did last week, saying that she's in the process of making a classic hip hop album. It's going to be the most impactful, most classic hip hop album of all time. No, it's not. When a rapper says that when an artist says that about that album before it comes out, it's going to be trash. Mm-hmm. The hell you typing?
Oh, I'm on Twitter saying Stitch Larry's jacket yesterday.
Oh,
you don't understand. He just made 2 plays out of these last 3. Look, man. I'll let you talk, but listeners, we are live. Listeners, we is live. And look, when we watch Monday Night Football, I'm a football fan. This is what I do. And you keep switching back and forth to Raw, so you don't be getting the same type of emotions I be getting.
I get you, but anyway, like I was saying, shout out to Cardi B. Nicki Minaj's reign is over. I told you. Are you clapping for that?
I'm clapping for Cardi B.
Oh, because I said Nicki Minaj's reign is over, and you started clapping. All disrespect.
Well, actually, I was clapping for that too. Yeah, but I mean, it was more so for Cardi B. But shit, all disrespect towards whatever the Nicki fans call them, but Barbies. All disrespect to the
Barbies. She called and Nicki called Cardi Barty or whatever. Like, why are you calling her Barty? You think you a blood now or something? The fuck?
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Whatever, Nicki. Your reign's over. I already said it before. I said it on Twitter. Whatever. And if we could just stay when it comes to like the industry and shit, Travis Scott about to be a daddy, supposedly, allegedly. Straight up. He nutted up.
I mean, if you know their relationship, I mean, you saw the cake that he got her for her birthday, right?
What did it say? Happy birthday. What did it say?
Happy birthday. It was a picture of her like pretty much blown out of her mind, and it was like, I love your fat pussy.
Yeah, it was fat ass. Like, it said fat ass or some shit.
It was pussy. I was like, yeah, she gonna end up with a kid. That's for damn sure.
And she's in her early 20s too, and I was like, damn.
Somebody said it best on Twitter. They was like, you invested all that money in your body to get pregnant in your early 20s.
For real.
And I was looking at it, and it actually dawned on me, and I was like, that's economics 101 for dummies. That actually is. That was actually, I mean, it was a good investment, but it brought her stock down a little bit. I'm just saying, you don't want to.
I didn't really see the big deal in her anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, congratulations to them. I just hope that kid looks more like Travis Scott, because if he ends up looking more like a Jenner, he gonna be confused at why his grandfather and his mama look nothing like him.
And also, not only that, like, I guess something came out with Tiger going on Snapchat saying, "Oh, that baby's mine," with the little devil emojis and shit. And I was telling you about that, and it ended up being fake, like I was expecting.
Of course.
But in a nutshell, Tiger dodged a bullet. In a nutshell, I mean, he might have got Black China. It was like, in the Matrix when Neo dodged the bullets and shit like that with the bullet time. What people don't show you is that he did get hit by a bullet in the knee. That bullet was his bullet in the knee. Yep. That baby was a bullet to the knee.
It took Trinity. Dodge this.
Dodge this. No. When she said dodge this, that was Rob Kardashian getting shot in the head.
He died for the sins.
Died for the sins. So I guess shout out to Kyrie, shout out to Travis being a big.
Hey man, anytime you're about to bring another life into this world, it's nothing but congratulations. I'll never hate on that.
But he's stuck now. He's part of that. He's part of the Kardashian clan.
Somebody else on Twitter, they put when Kanye found out Travis got Kylie pregnant, and they put the gif of from Get Out when they take the picture of him and he snaps out of it, and it's just Get out!
Get out! I guess we might as well speak about Kanye.
Speaking of Kanye, shout out to Kanye. Look, man, Kanye.
We talked about this earlier, but
it looked like he gained some weight, but he ain't looked this happy in a cool minute. And I was smiling. I was looking at the picture, and I almost said, man, fuck getting back on this workout plan. Kanye bringing fat niggas back into play, and I'm here for it all.
It wasn't he wasn't getting that fat. He was just looked like he's just been chilling.
Hey, man, he looks comfortable. And he looks happy. And if there's anybody that can bring fat niggas back in, it's Kanye. I mean, look, Kanye got people buying $400 clothes that you can cut up with your own damn scissors in less than 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So he has power. So when people see Big Kanye, it's like people when they fell in love with Big Luther. You know what I'm saying? Then Luther dropped all that weight, and they was like, I ain't fucking with Lil Luther.
They got a stroke.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I feel like Kanye just has that power where it's like, I don't care what size I am, everybody gonna follow. As long as he got that power.
I mean, Kanye is at that point. I mean, when you're undefeated with classic records after classic records, I mean, you can do what the fuck you want.
Right.
That's Kanye West.
And I was almost there until Saturday night when I burped and didn't come out all the way, and I had to look at my stomach, and I was like, I can't do it. I gotta follow Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? Kanye can pick up where Ross left off, but I gotta follow in Rick Ross's plan. I gotta get on that CrossFit, man.
But it's gonna be like Seth Rollins, CrossFit Jesus.
Yep.
But shout out to Kanye for fat niggas all around the world.
Yes, sir.
And also over the weekend, like this past week, I was on Netflix a lot. I was on Netflix and I got hooked on a show. It came out like around last month or whatever, but it's called American Vandal. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Now you remember how to make it a murderer? You remember that?
Yes.
That documentary about the white boy that got accused.
Yes.
That got accused of murdering somebody, and
I think they're going into a similar one with another subject pretty soon.
Well, no, they're gonna do a follow-up season and find out what happened with old boy.
No, not with him, but they're gonna follow that same blueprint with another subject.
Oh, okay. But when I talk about this, if you remember that show, American Vandal has that same concept, but this time it takes place in high school. Mm-hmm. Now, what happened in this high school is that this class clown, he was always known for doing pranks and doing other little stupid shit. He gets accused for spray painting dicks on the faculty's car.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yes, that one. So pretty much this documentary kid, at the school who's out. He's part of like the news group. He decides to have his own little investigation to figure out the truth because he's saying I didn't do it and I'm getting expelled for this shit.
Right.
So. And so he's doing like a whole documentary. He wants to do a documentary, kind of like how Making a Murderer is.
Okay.
Like the same blueprint. Just think about that, but just
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, the trailer, and pretty much he takes it extremely serious. So it's of course it's fake and shit. They got actors, but
Right.
my nigga, I'm telling you, it's 8 episodes, half hour each and shit. The way they shoot this shit, man, it's like the details they went with it. There's levels to this shit. Like, okay, for example, they have an eyewitness. The eyewitness said he saw old boy do it, right? So he's known to lie a lot. So he's saying that, during summer camp, old girl gave me the popular girl in school gave me a hand job. And they were just like, what? That's not true. And he showed this text message they had. And he's like, oh, okay. So they go to the spot that they did the hand job at. So tell me why they had an animation, a reenactment of this shit. And they're going like... And they do a zoom in, then zoom out. Oh, he could have did it from this angle, or he could have did it from that angle. It was like they did so much deep. Like the dude broke it down, and then he had his theories about how why the suspects would have did it, the motives behind it. There's so much shit, and then like if the jokes don't make you laugh, the mystery is just gonna get you. Like you're gonna be drawn in. Like, okay, where the fuck is this going? Who did it? You know what I mean? So American Vandal, It's not what's it called? You remember how I advised you to watch 16 Reasons and shit and you got all pissed off? You're not going to get pissed.
16 Reasons or 13 Reasons?
13 Reasons Why, yeah. You're not going to get pissed off watching this shit. This shit is American Vandal is a really, really good show. And I hope it wins some Emmys. So if I advise everybody, watch American Vandal. Who drew the dicks? Hashtag. That was the hashtag, who drew the dicks. Oh damn! It's a great show, really great show. Only 8 episodes, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, you'll be happy and excited to know I have finally compiled my list of must-watch television that I am finally getting on starting tomorrow.
So what's the number one show?
I don't know if there's a number one, but just
start with American Vandal. Start with that.
Well, we'll get to that eventually, but you'll be happy to know Insecure is on that. I'm going to give Game of Thrones one last shot after 2 attempts.
You got to take your time on that. That's like 7 seasons.
I understand that. I'm not planning on binge watching these. I'm planning on treating these like, just watching them all throughout one episode a day or every other day. Insecure, Game of Thrones. I got to jump back on oh man, I forgot the joint that I used to watch all the time on Stars. I don't have a list. I'm just naming stuff in front of my head because I'm watching Monday Night Football.
Shameless?
No, I'm not watching that.
Ray Donovan?
No, Survivor's Remorse.
That's on Stars.
LeBron,
you said Showtime. Okay. Yeah, I get you.
So I'm jumping back on that. I heard Ballers is kind of slacked off a little bit.
Yeah, this season's been kind of slacking. This season's been very slacking.
I got to catch back up on that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Blackish since season 1, but I'm jumping back on that. I'm finally going to get to the Carmichaels.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to love that show. You will absolutely love that show.
I've been told I'm going to love it, and I'm going to get pissed off that it got taken off.
Especially with the last episode.
Yeah, I've heard.
On Netflix.
I have heard. I finally started watching Rick and Morty. I don't know how I've gone this long without watching Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I need to watch that shit too.
Oh my god, get on it immediately. I have not stopped laughing at that show so much, and it's pretty much an X-rated version of Back to the Future.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's called Rick and Morty. I get it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm almost done with season 1 of Rick and Morty. There's a few more. Basically, I got to get back on Gotham. As horrible as it was when I stopped watching. They
brought back. They're gonna make Bruce B. Batman kind of now.
Yeah,
I saw it
he's
in the
like
trailer. That doesn't make sense to me.
He's like Ninja Batman right now.
Yeah, it's like, and how old is he now? 18?
Something like that.
Man, they should have just fucking went in the future and just made him just at least in his 20s, at least, or something.
Yeah, see, the reason why I stopped watching was they brought all the villains in too early.
Way too early.
Way too early. Like, the Riddler was like his age. Last time I remembered, he wasn't this old guy. He was around his age, and he was
Is
becoming
Commissioner? Well, you stop, but when you were watching, is Commissioner Gordon still like the centerpiece and shit, or is it just all over the place now?
Yeah, Gordon was still the centerpiece, but it was just it was hectic at that point because it was like they wanted to do other. It was weird.
Yeah, they're doing that Smallville shit. That's why I never watched Smallville. It went 10 seasons, and Edgar always told me to watch it. But then it was just like I couldn't watch it because Common Sense was just like, this show's been on for 10 years, and you trying to tell me for 10 years this nigga couldn't figure out that he's Superman?
Right.
And all these people show up. You gonna have Flash show up, Aquaman show up, and you can fly. You have super strength. You doing all this shit, and you still don't know you're Superman.
Although I will say, when Batman vs Superman ended, and he was in the casket and the stuff, and right before the last scene was popping off, I did tell myself, maybe that explains why he didn't know he was Superman for 10 damn years.
But this, it's a different universe. I know what you mean.
Right, but just pointing things out.
You should watch Supergirl. That's a good show.
I've heard. I might jump on that one.
I know, there's a lot of shows.
Those are all the ones where I'm actually focused on. And then there's the new one that's coming out next month where the 18-year-old kid out of South Central becomes mayor.
Isn't that on ABC?
That was going to be on ABC. I have that ready.
That should be a bit. See, Netflix, all these fucking shows have made me greedy, man. I can't wait.
Right, you want to binge watch stuff. But see, I think that's the benefit of Netflix is that the shows that actually they give you those shows to binge watch while you are waiting for the next week to show up on the network ones.
Yeah.
That was really if that Mayor show wants to be real, they'll have Pac Div playing Mayor right when the series starts.
That probably is going to be the theme song. That's probably the theme song. It has to be.
If they do it, it's my number one show of 2017, easily.
And another show that I've been watching on Netflix, well, you ain't gonna watch this, and it's just a guilty pleasure. It's fucking Fuller House, like the Full House reunion show.
Yeah, talk to Sheree about that. You guys can watch that together.
Hey, man.
My sister loves Full House.
It's Fuller House. That's what it is.
Well, no, I'm saying she loves Full House, so she will watch anything associated with Full House.
You know who got hot? I don't know. It's the middle sister, Stephanie. Man, she got hot, my nigga.
I saw DJ and I was like, man, both of them can still get it.
Oh yes, the only thing that can't get is what's her name, Kimmy, and she alright, but all of them, the sisters can get it.
DJ and Mom now too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and not only that, man, it's just kind of sad. Like almost pretty much everybody came back except for
the Olsens.
I mean, for obvious reasons.
If you've seen how they look, it's probably better for everybody.
But still, it's
they gonna look older than Stephanie and DJ.
Yeah, but at the same time, man, it's like at least come back for one episode. They don't have to be on all the episodes. Just come back for one because the original cast members are like on there for like
everybody's all there.
No, they're not on all the episodes. It focuses more on DJ, Stephanie, and Kimmy. They all live in the house with their kids and shit. So it focuses on them, and original cast members show up every now and then. So
but they're all there.
Yeah, exactly. They're all there, and I remember
but they all still look younger than Michelle.
Yeah, they still damn near look the same. Like Stephanie still looks the same. It's hella funny though. It was like on the first episode, like John Stamos was all going, Stephanie was all going like, "Oh, where's my little sister?" And then what's his name? Bob Saget was all going like, "Oh, Michelle wanted to come, but she's out in New York doing her fashion company." Yep. And then all of a sudden, the entire cast members just stared at the camera like, "Yo, hoe ass nigga."
I knew they weren't coming on the show when I saw a trailer, and even Steve came back, and I was like, if Steve is back and they ain't there, they ain't ever coming back.
I kind of showed you they haven't found no work in years.
Yep.
But sometimes even Edgar was telling me like some of these shows on Netflix and all these other shows, like why didn't some of these companies get it? Another show you need to watch is Atypical. That's the show you need to get on.
I'm telling you because you have the situation like fucking Madden. Where you have a long shot, where it's a show that was just about to take place, and then they scrapped it, and then you get these video games, and they're like, hey, we'll take that story, and then you end up playing the shit thinking you're going to go to the NFL, and then the damn story ends, you ain't played one fucking down in the NFL, and you just figuring out why the hell did I just waste 2 hours of my life.
Well, when it comes to Netflix, you winning awards and shit. Netflix winning awards. They're taking all of HBO's and all these cable networks awards.
Yeah, but Hulu still got talking grounds over them. Hulu ain't gonna let them live that down for a whole year.
Hulu, Amazon, man, shit. And then not only that, and what other shit? When it comes to technology, the new iPhone already dropped. I didn't get mine yet, and I'm waiting for all them bugs to get taken care of. I ain't getting mine until at least November. You like my mom. I'm like the same way. I'm going to wait till later.
Right.
But the one thing that I'm going to talk about is the new iOS update. There's a feature on there that I got, notified about through Karina. Shout out to Karina, as always.
What up, Outrageous?
Yeah. And she sent me this video. She was like, yo, this new update, Maney. And I was like, huh? And then she sent me a video of her on her phone. Like,
She's such a damn Bay Area chick.
How?
That's that's Bay Area language, man. Like,
I'm used to this shit, Maney.
That's for those who don't know. We have our own language. If you're a Bay Area resident, we just a different type of people. You know what I'm saying?
Like, shit different.
Yeah.
We just do shit different.
Right.
Anyway, she sent me this video of her on her phone, and she's going through this shit, and she sends me the text message, exactly what she wrote, this update Maney. And I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, it's a screen recorder. So pretty much what they added on here is like you can record what you are doing on your phone. Everything that you do on your phone, you can record it and just send it to somebody. And I was like, "Oh, this is scary." Because then after, you fuck up, you get caught in the game. And I was like, "Oh shit!" So you can record what people do on Snapchat. You could do hella shit. So I was like, "Oh shit, this is scary." I told JC about that. He was like, "Oh shit, nobody's safe."
Pray for me.
But when it comes to Snapchat, I did a little test with somebody. And I put on the screen recorder when I was like, I just wanted to look at someone's snap.
Right.
And I told them to view it, and they showed me and it said it took a screenshot. So I'm like, okay, so it still notifies you when someone took a screenshot.
They still protecting Snapchat. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess.
Oh my God.
You're good on that. Okay, what happened?
Duffel, DJ Duffel on them.
Oh shit! Cowboys just scored right now.
And not just the Cowboys. It was Bryce Butler, DJ Duffel.
Oh shit!
My dog. Send him a text later. Yes, sir. You know how I do.
Damn, we're going 2 hours. So yeah, that's the iOS update. So if y'all have some hoes, if y'all got side niggas, y'all better just just worry. Just be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. Damn, he threw that shit.
Duffel.
Man, that's why they sat Romo's ass down. Yeah, keep tapping your little Twitter fingers, nigga. I hear it.
No, that wasn't for Twitter. That was for TSDN.
TSDN. Damn, that was a great catch. Good for him.
My boy Duffel. Get that.
Get that money. Okay, so not only that, so we might as well get into music because some music.
You know what? We had a very good weekend of music. We actually did. You and I have been complaining about the lack of music coming over the past month or so, month and a half.
And on Friday, it was just like Merry Christmas. A whole bunch of music dropped.
Right. Well, but the thing was I forgot about the first two.
Same here.
And I knew they were coming out. I just didn't realize. I just didn't realize it because this year's just been flying by so fucking fast.
For real, though.
It said September 22nd, and I was like, okay, we got time. And next thing I know, it's September 21st, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like, we're already here? I thought that was next week.
For September 25th, you mean?
No, I'm talking about when these albums were dropping. It was September 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
And then Thursday night came around. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I thought it was a few weeks from now. Then I realized, oh, wait, we're moving at all-time fast speed. So there's not enough we could say about this lady as a femc.
Let's start with the other ones too.
Well, we can get into the others first, but I want to lay out what these projects were before we get into them. A lot of people were introduced to Rapsody through To Pimp a Butterfly. I told y'all motherfuckers, it was all going to come full circle. You just had to pay attention and stick it out with us. If you lasted 2 hours, we really fuck with you. Rapsody dropped her latest album, Laila's Wisdom. We got one of my personal favorite rappers out right now, Lecare, who dropped All Things Work Together. Yeah. And then in a surprise twist, out of nowhere, which I actually appreciate when these albums drop like this, Jhene Aiko dropped her sophomore album, Trip.
Yeah, all at once. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Right.
Okay.
It got to the point, because I mean, when lately, for the last month or so, when music has dropped, it's been dropping sporadically. So like, Busby and I will usually communicate with each other like, okay, just keep an eye out for that. But usually when we tell each other that, like, it's like late Saturday night, Sunday. So it's kind of like, we're just in like, all right, just get into quick listen mode. These dropped on Thursday, and we would text each other. All right, add this to the list. Make sure you listen to it. Tap in. Don't do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. But I tried doing that. I did that. But when I listened to Rapsody, that's all I damn near listened to.
Yeah.
Because it was. But we're gonna get to her. We're gonna get to her. Let's get everyone else out the way. So,
all right.
Jhene Aiko.
Jhene Aiko trip. You say it was a snore fest.
It was.
But it's because you made the mistake of listening to it after a rap record. I don't know why you continue to listen to R&B and rap back to back. It's bad mix. It's like brushing your teeth after you just ate an orange.
I'm not really a fan of Jhene Aiko's music. See, I like her in her features. No, I like her features, but the music itself is just like it's.
Jhene Aiko the shit, man. She's
I know
she's a phenomenal writer.
Okay, she's just not for me. How about that?
Yeah, there's something wrong with you because she's a phenomenal writer.
Okay. Let me rephrase that.
You like the 2088 project.
Yeah, I like it because Big Sean's rapping on it.
No.
And don't get me wrong, I enjoy what she does, but when it comes to her single projects, it just puts me to sleep, man. I try to get into it, I just can't really get into the shit like that. I understand the concept. It's hookah music. If I'm with a chick, I'm gonna put on some Jhene Aiko.
It is not hookah music. Like you are so damn disrespectful at this point. I wish I could stick my fist through this fucking microphone. I swear, you are so damn disrespectful. You just I'm gonna turn to Stephen A. Smith. Like, you're just so damn disrespectful. It's blasphemous.
It's blasphemous. Bamboozled.
You gonna talk about Sold Out being horrible and
I didn't say it was horrible. Did I say it was horrible?
No, you might as well have.
I said it's hookah music.
Which is disrespectful ass talking.
I just can't get into it. I'm sorry.
So for those who want a realistic review of this, because Busby made the mistake of listening to this record after listening to what might end up being a top 5 hip-hop record in this year. Jhene Aiko surprised us all with this album Trip. And as I was
not
listening,
only an album, it was a music. It was a.
She dropped a short film, and basically what this album is dealing with, she gets real personal. She actually dives into, and a lot of people don't know this about Jhene, Mila J, her older sister. They don't know that they.
Yes, Mia J.
Look, you claim Mila J is the best R&B singer ever just because you want to get her in bed.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mila
do.
Fine, but Jhene is the one. Jhene is the one. All right,
let's. No, Mia's. Right. Hey, she could be you. Hey, that's you. I get Mia.
No, that's Sean.
I know. Well, shit.
But for those who don't know, they have a brother who unfortunately passed away at a young age. This album deals with that, but it doesn't deal with that in the sense of it. I don't want to say it doesn't focus because it does focus on it, but it focuses on the fact that the passing has led to ultimately bad decisions. Some decisions that are you take on a whim, other ones that just lead down a road of just horrible decisions. And so I was listening to the album and I made it just about halfway through before I realized she had actually dropped the short film. And I was like, wait a minute. And I did something that I rarely do because once I start an album, it's the same thing with watching a film. You don't stop, just finish through. I broke that rule. I'm very glad I actually broke the rule in this case because when I went back and I watched the short film, I know, I just saw it. When I went back and watched the short film, it actually put everything in perspective. So when I went back and listened to the album, it was a very, very precise and far clearer album, and I knew what was taking place at that point.
See, and that's what I did too. And that's what I did. When you told me to watch the movie, I was like, I watched the movie. And when I watched the little short 24-minute movie, I'm like, okay, I might.
It puts it all in. You're going to. We have a list that we need to give the people in a couple months. You're going to go back and listen to this, and this isn't sleep music. All right,
it is.
You're not going to be disrespectful and talk about this shit like that. Okay, you're gonna go back and you're gonna listen to this at least 2 more times.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep
when it came to this, it was she experimented with different sounds, which I appreciated because when you get to your sophomore project, you can either do one of two things. You can stay in formulaic mode that got you some success on your first go around, or you can push the boundaries and keep going forward. Now, like I said, she's a phenomenal writer. She's been that. This was a very, albeit it was extremely long. It was 22 tracks, but it was a great album. very good, very personal, very in depth. You had tracks like Moments with. So there's 2 tracks on here that have Big Sean, but it's interesting how she lists them. And over here. And then she has, which is the exact next record, which is Only Lovers Left Alive, which is actually 2088. So it's actually their collaboration track. And both of them bounce off pretty well with each other. Moments is more so for Sean to do his raps. Only Lovers Left Alive is kind of this electro pop sounding vibe, but it works well with both of them. Then you have Sativa, and it's featuring Sway Lee. And look, we're all under this at this point. When Shrem Life 3 drops and they're finished doing that, Sway Lee got to get in the studio. He got to drop his solo record. Sway Lee jumped on Sativa. I don't know what he was on because it clearly wasn't Sativa. It was either Hybrid or it was Indica. But he delivered that shit. Come on, man. You gave us Unforgettable, and then you give us this. I was one for saying Ride the Wave or Shrem Life 2, but at some point we got to get a solo record from you, G. We got to. You got to do it for the culture. You can't keep holding us hostage like this. You a cold motherfucker, man. You got to give it to us, man. I'm saying. Because Sativa had me like, dog, Sativa put me in that mood. I was ready to go. So yeah, Sativa. And then you get to New Balance, which is... New Balance was actually the song that pretty much drove the short film. And listening to those lyrics, it was very, very personal. To the point where, sometimes you appreciate an artist getting very personal, but at the same time, sometimes it kind of makes you uncomfortable. Because it's like, man, I don't know if I even would have went that far. Like, it was one of those where it's like, it's so personal, but at the same time, you're like, I appreciate you for putting yourself out there like that. You Are Here was another great record, and then Oblivion. Oblivion actually blew me away. I don't know how you call them the sleep music, man. Like you so damn disrespectful. This is a good album. It was lengthy. I'll give you that.
22 fucking tracks.
22 tracks, almost an hour and a half. I'll give you that. It was lengthy, but she's got great music. And again, when you watch the short film, it all makes sense and puts everything in perspective. So. Go get Trip. Listen to Trip. Definitely.
And then you got your boy Lecare.
Lecare.
He dropped.
Yeah, so for those who aren't familiar with Lecare, Lecare, oh my God. This dude, Larry Fitzgerald, dog, like, Jesus, man. And then he helps him up off the... Look, man. This man will do you... This man will do you... Look, I need to say this. This man will do you dirty, and then he'll help you up off the ground like a gentleman. Come on, man. Lecare,
we're going 2 hours, bro.
It's a long episode. There's a lot that went down this weekend. Lecare is an artist that has a gospel Christian hip hop background. He's starting to go into the more secular realm. Not necessarily saying he's diving into that, but he's going more secular. So he dropped All Things Work Together. For this one, off a couple listens, this one to me was back heavy in the sense that. The first half of the album, it had some decent records, but it had a trap sound to it. And I wasn't accustomed to him having that sound, despite him dabbling with it on Church Clothes 3. It's got some records, though. He has this track, Facts, where if there's anybody that you were thinking, like, man, who else could spit? It's this guy. He's talking, he's saying, cats want me to be like MLK, but I got to remind them he got shot in the street. Like he was spitting his ass off on this one. He's got a track with Ty Dolla, which was the lead-off single called Blessings. But like I said, when you get to the second half, that's where you get the meat and potatoes of this project. The one that stood out in my mind, anytime I hear Verse Simmons, you remember Verse Simmons, right?
Yeah.
Anytime I hear Verse Simmons, I'm like, oh shit, Verse Simmons still doing music. That's awesome. Verse lended a feature for Wish You the Best, which he goes and he talks about a failed relationship, him being at fault, and him explaining, I was wrong and I should have treated you. Pretty much that song, but it's from a different standpoint, which was cool. Can't Stop Me Now deals with pretty much where Logic left off with Suicide Hotline. That's where this picks up. Very interesting record. Tori Kelly is on the next joint, which is I'll Find You. That was a phenomenal track. Like that. Tori Kelly needs some... people need to know about Tori Kelly, man. Like I don't feel like she gets the praise that she deserves but people need to know about Tori Kelly. And then it finishes up from there. Like I said, it was back heavy, so it was kind of a letdown for me, but it's still good enough to where, everybody pay attention to it. Definitely give this a run. For the most part, I don't think you'll be disappointed with it, because even the tracks that I felt didn't work production-wise, lyrically, he still holds his own. So, shout out to Lecare for that one.
Shout out to Lecare, but let's get to the coup de grace of this.
Rapsody.
Coup de grace. Ninth Wonder presents Rapsody.
Ninth Wonder presents, this is Jamla and Rock Nation.
Jamla and Rock Nation. Young Guru actually engineered this shit too. What was the old right-hand man.
Yeah.
How do you put it? Like, I don't want to get this fucked up. Layla's Wisdom.
You still messed up. You said wisdom. It's wisdom.
Wisdom, my bad. I was excited. Now, coming in, I knew what Rapsody is capable of. I knew that she could spit her ass off. She could spit her fucking ass off because she's good. She's a good ass spitter. And it has to say something that the only rapper that was on To Pimp a Butterfly was Rapsody. He didn't have no other rap. Well, he had Snoop, but actually like a spit verse, guest feature verse. Rapping was Rapsody. And originally on, what's it called? What was the song? Complexion? Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be just Rapsody and Prince. That was the original plan. Because Rapsody is just that raw.
Right.
So when she was working on her album, I didn't know what to expect. I knew the features. I heard about the features. I was like, okay, let's see how this is going to go. I came in here not expecting much. I knew I was going to get some dope-ass beats. Got into this shit, man. After the first track, it drew me in. And then when I got to Power, and I heard Kendrick actually spit a verse, like a well-adjusted verse, I was like, oh, shit. This album, man, Rapsody's gonna come. She's gonna come off as one of the best ever at the end of the day. Because there was that song. There was the one with Black and Ugly with BJ the Chicago Kid. I love that record. You should know with Busta Rhymes. The second half of that song, Buster hella just broke it down and started rapping that shit. Yes, shout out to them. And You Used to Love Me with Terrence. Man, there's and Jesus Coming, the last track. Almost the entire album is really, really good. And it got to the point where I just forgot she was a woman and I just saw her as a fucking MC.
Yeah.
Because, there are certain times when you listen to certain... Wow, they're really just shitting on Enzo right now. This is some bullshit. Sorry.
Oh, you telling me to stop paying attention to Monday Night Football and you watching Raw.
Man, you gonna get that shit too. Because they're just... Man, it's some bullshit they're doing to Enzo right now. Anyway... But there's times when I'm listening to a female rapper, and female rappers hate being called female rappers, but I still kind of forget. I when I listen to them, like if I listen to a Nicki Minaj record, I still know I'm listening to Nicki Minaj. I don't just get confused and be like, oh, I'm listening to somebody else. I'm like, oh, I'm just listening to somebody else. Oh, this is still Nicki. With Rapsody, nah, this is strictly hip hop. And at the end of the year, this will go down as one of the best albums of the year. So, period.
When it comes to Rapsody, there's something interesting because Complexion isn't her only. Complexion and Power aren't her only collaborations with Kendrick. She's collaborated with him before. I can honestly say this. She's probably one of 3 MCs who can jump on a track with Kendrick and you don't forget she's on the track. She's easily top 3 in that. Because, again, so Laila's Wisdom opened up and it's this theatrical entrance into the album, and it's a perfect setup for going into Power. And again, when you see the track list, you see Kendrick, so your mind's only on Kendrick. She opens up the song, and it's like you actually forget Kendrick's even coming up. Yeah. I mean, I know my blackness powerful, and they don't like that. I know some niggas sold there, sit back and watch them tap dance. Bombs over Baghdad to have a flag to brag about. Don't make you a big boy because you got a nice stack. Carolina homeboy, we keep a stack house. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What we talking about with Rapsody here? Like, seriously. If y'all don't give this woman her due...
She's in a different area. She's in a different era,
If y'all don't give this woman her due, like, seriously, she is... I say femc out of not to discredit her as an MC, but to pay homage, because that torch as far as the woman MC has been lost for a long... You can name Nicki and all you want, but to me, that's a pop act. We talking about hardcore spitting. She is that. She embodies that. As far as I'm concerned, Remy's had a nice run... But in all respect, when it comes to body of work in the last 5 years, if you're not talking Rapsody in your list, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm really not. Like, I've been that way for a long period of time. So she comes and spits out with this in Power. The track Nobody, dog, with Black Thought, Anderson
Yes.
.Paak. Oh my God. Just when you thought she kills it, Black Thought comes up and talking about, it's been 20 years a slave, but I'm still in 23 or 24. Nigga, what?
Shit.
What you talking about, Black Thought? Why ain't your soul off? Look, man, Black Thought easily top 10 underrated. Easily. And the only reason why you can list him that is because he doesn't have a solo project to go along with it. It's always categorized as The Roots.
Him and The Roots, but Black Thought could rap his fucking ass off.
Look, man, anytime
it's
Black
like him
Thought,
and Andre,
dog.
It's like him and Andre 3000, dog.
Dog, yes, you are. Look, Black Thought and Andre 3000, when they on records, hip hop heads will tell you when they see those names on records, you shut everything off around your vicinity for those 4 or 5 minutes, because they will kill a damn track easily. Mm-hmm. Nobody came on, and Anderson .Paak did his spot on his guest feature there. Who was it? Moonchild, who gave some background vocals, perfectly fit in. And then, like you said, you jump into Black and Ugly with BJ, and it's pretty much a pickup of complexion.
Pretty much, in a way.
But
she's talking her own shit.
But it's not unnecessary. It's very necessary for this time and age. Like, usually, you know what I'm saying? You get those pickups from other tracks, and it's like, why'd you do that? This one is like, I'm so thankful you did that. The one with Busta, you was dead on with that. Then she had a track, You Used to Love Me.
Yes.
Those are 5 words.
That was deep.
That's a 5-word phrase that damn near every human does not want to hear in their lifetime. Which is, I don't love you anymore.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what the track is about. And Terrace Martin with the saxophone, man. Terrace Martin is synonymous with Kendrick and Jamla as a whole. It fits perfectly. And then Knock on My Door was something I didn't expect from her. She was very feminine on that track. Opening herself up to the fact that, she is all woman. And she needs the attention from somebody that would like to court her and to come into her life. She needs that. You know what I'm saying? And that was a great transition and experience point of view to get from her. Ooh Wee with Anderson .Paak was cool, but really the closeout, Jesus Coming, God Almighty. That was
a dope ass way
to
close the
album. My Lord Almighty. There's people who are dope MCs, and then there's people who are dope MCs that can paint perfectly clear pictures. She's one of those.
Yes.
Because Jesus Coming came around, and I'm listening, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah. It's a concept we've all thought of, but to put it in that light, wow.
Yeah. Like, all in all, man, this album, it shouldn't have surprised me, but it did. Just the quality, the raps, everything was top notch.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
I was stuck on this album all weekend because it was just that damn good.
Oh yeah, the same way I will say this: the same way I was stuck on the Cool Kids last weekend, I was stuck on this, but it was for different reasons. Cool Kids, that album was more because of the vibe. It was feel good, and I was feeling that. This album, because I was looking at it like, where do I put this with Jay-Z and Kendrick this year? You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be somewhere towards the top 5. Depending on if M and Nas drop sometime in the middle, by the end of the year, it's going to be up there.
Easily. And I don't say this, and again, for those who know me, I don't say this about projects this early. I let them sit for a while. But off of the first listen, I will, of course, let this sit for a month. But I will tell you, off of first listen, it's competing with Damn and 444. I'll tell you that.
I might just go out and buy the physical. And if I have to go out and buy the physical, I really fuck with it.
If I buy the physical, I'm going to get the vinyl. Easily. This is one of them ones where I need to know when her tour dates are. I'm ready to go see her live for the first time. This blew me away completely. And it's like you said, we know how dope she is. So it shouldn't have came as a surprise, but man, I'm telling you, this collection of 14 tracks was...
Because Kendrick, it was something special when Kendrick actually spit an album quality verse, like it was his record.
Yeah.
Like when he's rapping on this shit, that's how you know he fucking.
And you notice he only does that for the day ones, as in the ones who have been rocking with him on his records since day one. He really only does that. And like I said, this isn't their first collab. He's even been featured on her projects back in 2011.
They brought that nigga back from Monday Night Football.
Who?
The country singer nigga who dissed Obama.
Oh, yeah. You didn't hear the intro track before we went on air?
No, I had it on mute. What the fuck?
Yeah, are you ready for some footballs back?
Oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, I just left a sour taste in my mouth. Wish you would have saw my face. Like, what? Hold up. Anyway, yeah, Monday Night Football we hell ADD right now watching wrestling, Monday Night Football and shit.
It's all good. That's why people love the illogical sense, man. Even sometimes we get caught up and we get sidetracked, but just say you get us live, man. We don't try to hold back for you guys. Like, we just giving y'all how we talk to each other.
But Laila's Wisdom, y'all need to cop that, listen to that. I'll probably go back and listen to Jhene Aiko. And Lecare, I get that over time. There's a lot of good music dropped this year. So shout out to Cardi B. Shout out to
we're gonna start working on that end of list pretty soon. Like compiling everything. Oh my God, that was Bryce again. Get that man a touchdown. He ain't touch him.
That is a touchdown. Yeah, it is.
Duffel.
Okay, well, at this point, I think we need to go watch Monday Night Football now because I think everyone's just going to be all confused about what's going on right now. So, speaking for JC and Busby, I would like to say, fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
And Jed York. Bye-bye.
Peace.